Bobrovsky. I'm not sure Bobrovsky had the game of his life in Game 2. Didn't have to. The Panthers defended hard, and when the Lightning did have prime scoring chances, 2 of the 3 opportunities, they missed the net. But I think that's a signal there of a coach playing up his goaltender, giving him more confidence. Bobrovsky certainly is righted the ship when it comes to his career in the playoffs and has really put himself on the map as a Hall of Fame goaltender when you take a look at the numbers in the championships. Greg Linnelli with you as our pregame show continues. Eric Erlinson live on the seat in Sunrise from lightninginsider.com is with us, along with Bobby the Chief Taylor. Chief, I'll start with you. And look, nothing like a head coach giving you a little more confidence. Not that the Bobrovsky needs it, but it's always nice to hear it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, usually the only people that really praise you when you're a goaltender is your mom and dad. So it's always nice.
That.
Yeah. It's always good when a coach recognizes what you go through and what you've done for them. And Bobrovsky's been really good. I mean, when you really look at it, there's 2 things that, for me anyway, that surprised me in the first 2 games. Was the ability to kill penalties for Florida, and the inability of the power play for the Lightning, and the save percentage. When you take a look at the save percentage Bobrovsky's put up, he's .951%. That's incredible. And of course, on the other side, now this one just freaked me out even worse, was the fact that Vasi's only got an .821 save percentage. So those 2 areas really have to be better this afternoon.
They have to be better. And E, you're on the scene. No Brandon Hagel today. What did you make of the suspension, and what do the Lightning do lineup-wise? What are you seeing during warm-ups that would indicate they are going to make some adjustments there?
Well, I was surprised by the suspension. Obviously once player safety comes out and announces that there's going to be a hearing, at that point you're anticipating the suspension, but I'm still surprised by it. I understand some of the thought process that they put into the explanation. I just don't buy it as a whole. It's such a fast-paced game that anyway, either way, Brandon Hagel unavailable for them today. He's a big part of their lineup, obviously, big part of their penalty kill, a big emotional leader. And, based on the line rushes that we saw, they're going to put Gonsalves with Cirelli, and that second line will be a rotation because Darren Radish was taking rushes with that second line. So looks like they go to 11-7, and we're used to that. We're used to seeing that. They've done it quite a bit. Obviously, they did it in Game 1 as well. But, look, no matter who's in the lineup, you have to keep defending hard the way they did, especially in Game 2. And then when those chances are there, you need your guys to step up and bury the opportunities when they present themselves because, you lose a 1-0 game, you look at all the chances you had that didn't go in, and, you kind of beat yourself up a little bit. So take advantage of the chances when they're there.
And I think, Chief, to piggyback what E said, this is really when you want to lean on your stars to lead the way, right?
Exactly. But also, with your third and fourth lines out there have to really pick up as well. When you take a look back at the 2 cups the Lightning won back-to-back here, that line of Gord, Goodrow, and Coleman were really big factor in that. Not only were they really good defensively, they chipped in with some timely goals as well. And for me, it's just that you're getting the opportunities on the power play, but they had 5 power plays last game and only managed 2 shots on goal, 2, and it was in 1 power play. So that I think they have to start taking more advantage of shot total and shot opportunities. I know all year long they'd love to make the quick pass, the double pass, and sometimes the triple pass. But you know what? They're just all Florida's doing is shooting puck on net, and they're getting some really good breaks. I mean, look at that first goal. 99 times out of 100, Vasi makes that save, but they didn't this time. But this is what the Lightning have to do. They have to start just shooting from everywhere and get those crazy goals, or as everybody wants to refer to them, as dirty goals.
It's easier said than done. What have the Panthers been able to do defensively to really lock in the Lightning star players? They've gotten loose a couple of times, but not much.
Well, they're physical on them. They're taking opportunities. They never pass up a check and an opportunity to kind of make contact. And that's obviously a strategy teams will have against the Lightning, in particular against their top players. And then, like, you just watch how aggressive they are on the puck. I mean, that's one way to kind of take away time and space. So they're on top of the puck at all times. The Lightning have tremendous playmakers all over the ice, especially Kucherov and Gensel and these guys. They have the ability to make plays. But if you don't give them the time and space to see those plays, that's what's happening. The Lightning have to be better in finding space, finding open space, utilizing it, and exploiting it before the Panthers can get there. It's easier said than done. They're very quick in what they do all over the ice. I mean, that's a big reason the Panthers' penalty kill has been so successful, is because of how aggressive they are in the puck and not allowing those guys to set up in the offensive zone. So it's better puck decisions, quicker puck decisions, and you have to have a lot of trust in your teammates to be in the right spots to make those decisions. So in the playoffs, we know how everything speeds up and everything is ramped up. That includes the speed of your execution, especially against a team as aggressive on the puck when they're defending as Florida is.
Boys, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you throughout the broadcast today. Thank you.
All right, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, Bobby the Chief Taylor, Eric Erlinson right there, cleaning the crease, presented by Janny King, proud commercial cleaning partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Same goaltender matchup today, as we've seen through the first two games. Ben Pierce will be joining us live on the scene as well in our next segment. The Lightning Playoffs Round 1 matchup gear is available now in store at Amalie Arena and online at TampaBaySports.com while supplies last. We'll talk to Ben when we return. Lightning and Panthers coming up in about 10 minutes on Lightning Radio.
The Lightning Foundation's 50-50 raffle, presented by Moffitt Cancer Center, supports hundreds of local charities. Each home game has a single pot with the winner selected during the third period. Visit Bolts5050.com to purchase tickets. Do good and win big.
On this week's episode of the Bolts Block Party, powered by High Ally IPA, Wolfie and Kobe, and we caught up with the Lightning color analyst of our broadcast, Brian Engblom.
We talked about his run with the Habs, 3 Stanley Cups.
Great locker room stories as well.
And, of course, his transition from NHL.
Hey, sports fans. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Toronto Sports Insider during the Playoff Pulse. Our mission is simple, bringing sports fans together to hang out, cheer, and change the world one insider at a time, while supporting SickKids Hospital in Toronto every single game.
Cheers, insiders and sports fans from around the world. The Playoff Pulse campaign on Toronto Sports Insider is uniting fans worldwide through the thrill of NHL and NBA playoffs. Every game, every fan, every moment counts. The link is pinned in the chat and in the description. Check out our campaign page. Donate if you can, or share it with friends. Holy Mackinac! Every click helps sick kids heal the future. Just by being here, you have already made an impact. Now, chat it up, keep it classy, and let's keep changing the world one insider at a time.
I'm his queen, I'm his freak.
Katy Perry, with a show that's larger than life.
I got the eye of the tiger.
On sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Baby, you're a bug.
Katy Perry, live. It's a party, and you're invited.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
For pure safety and total clean, call Zerorez. Right now, get 3 for the price of 2. That's 3 rooms of carpet clean, but only pay for 2 when you mention me, Mike Calta. Secure this deal today. Book online at ZerorezTampaBay.com.
At Bernetti PA, our team will tell you that our number one priority is striving for the best customer service in the industry. I'm honored by the number of referrals we get from our current and past clients. They trust us. Why shouldn't you? Call 1-800-BERNETTI. We're ready. Offices Tampa, Lakeland, Pinellas.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Yeah, get pucks in the net, try to create some havoc that way, and maybe break them down and hopefully get them out of place. So you gotta get people in front of Bobrovsky. He's a good goaltender for a reason, and yeah, it's just it's gonna be tough. We gotta go 30 years.
It's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. Jake Gensel talking about the Panthers defensively, and then once you get past the defense, you've got Bobrovsky, who's playing at a pretty high level, and the Lightning have the work cut out for them down 0-2. Greg Linnelli with you as our pregame show continues. We're getting you set for Lightning and Panthers. No Brandon Hagel today, suspended one game. Ben Pierce isn't suspended. He's here with us. He's Johnny on the spot as well in Sunrise. Ben, that was, I talked to the boys in the previous segment. I think a surprise to some people, potentially, with the hit he had on Barkov. But here the Lightning are, and boy, do they need some people to step up today offensively, don't they? Can't hear Ben. All right. Well, we'll work to get Ben. There's no doubt about it. The question was so good, it got him a little flustered for sure. But look, the Lightning, as we talked about before, played their best game in Game 2. Nate Schmidt opened things up with the slapper, with the goal to get things going. I think it's one where you felt like Vasi should have had, but that's all that Florida needed. And I think we do have Ben back. And I think that's the part that's been a little surprising. The Lightning trying to get their offense going. It's been one of the best in the regular season, and Ben, it hasn't played that way through 2 games, and they're going to have to do it without Brandon Hagel today.
It's going to be a team challenge, and by that I mean it's going to require a team effort. And for this group, they've had no problem scoring goals all year long. And Hags is a big piece, and Coop said as much this morning when he spoke. He said that's going to be that's a player you never want to be missing. But he said in some ways it almost kind of galvanizes a group because it's okay. We have to get this one for Hags, right? Let's make sure that the rest of us stand up and do our job, maybe even 10% better than we usually do, so that way we have a chance to get Hags back in here and hopefully tie this series up in Game 4.
All right, do you have any numbers you can give us to feel better about ourselves today?
Any numbers to feel better? Well, I'll tell you this much. I can tell you that the Lightning are very invested. This last game, this playoff game, they had 38 hits in the playoffs, and everybody's been talking about the physicality of Florida and can Tampa Bay weather that storm? Well, I'll tell you this much. 38 hits ties their season high. They did it one time all regular season. So they're up for the challenge physically. We saw a lot of that extra stuff. I think in this game, the focus is going to want to be on the offensive zone, but they're certainly not backing down from the physical stuff, and we saw that particularly in the hits department the other night.
Being physical is never a bad thing in the playoffs. Let's see if it can lead to maybe some offense. Ben, we appreciate you. We will talk to you throughout the broadcast today.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Ben Pierce joining us right there. When the Bolts win, you win too. Download or log into the Chick-fil-A app by midnight after a home win. Enjoy a free Chick-fil-A entree. Offer redeemable within 24 hours of a win when you scan the app or place a mobile order at any participating Tampa Bay area location. One offer per person, the official chicken sandwich of our Tampa Bay Lightning. When we return, we'll speak to Dave Mishkin. He's got the call coming up in about 5 minutes. Back after this on Lightning Radio.
At PNC Bank, the official retail bank of the Tampa Bay Lightning, we've always taken a boring approach to handling your money. Not only is it smart, it's reliable. And why would we ever want to be unreliable with anyone's money? Some of those customers could be big, tough hockey players who'd gladly give up their teeth for a win. Oh, that's gonna hurt. But really, we just think boring is the smartest way to help ensure your money's there for exciting things in life. Like intentionally placing your body in front of a frozen rubber puck traveling at 100 miles per hour. PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FD.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Still with it. Here's a one-timer and a score!
Sirius XM 91.
The Stanley Cup playoffs on the Lightning Audio Network are presented by Advent Health.
Kucherov! A brilliant goal!
It's time to be the Thunder.
Point, cuts and crunch, and goal! Move. What a move! What a move! Point! He wins it for the Lightning again!
Today's Stanley Cup playoff game, featuring your Tampa Bay Lightning, is presented by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum. And by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Pasternak going in the left wing. Angling in front, he holds, shoots, save on Zalewski! The Lightning win it!
We're moments away from puck drop as we get ready for Lightning to strike.
Lightning hoping to strike in a big way this afternoon against the Panthers on the road, down 0-2 in this best-of-7 first-round matchup. Greg Linnelli with you. Let's go out to Sunrise and speak to the man calling the game today. That would be the radio voice of the Lightning, Dave Michigan. Partner, we've been talking about this really for the last 24 to 36 hours. I think we have a good feel of what the Lightning need to do. But it's a lot easier said than done. The Panthers have had a say in how this series has played out through 2 games. Defensively, as you and I have discussed on Power Lunch on Lightning Radio, they have gotten to their level, and it's been a pretty high level when it comes to defending. And it's going to be something the Lightning are going to have to try and solve today.
Yeah, high marks to the Panthers. I did catch some of the playoff games that were played yesterday. There were 3 of them. They were all very compelling games. 3 teams were down 0-2 going home for Game 3, and all 3 home teams won that Game 3. But what I noticed from both teams and all the games that I tuned in to catch, both teams, whether they won or lost the game, they made some mistakes that fueled opposition chances, opposition goals. We just haven't seen that from the Panthers, which is my way of saying, like, high marks to them. They have been so buttoned up through the first 2 games of the playoffs, and they've played at a championship level. Can we assume that that is going to continue, that this team will play essentially as close to mistake-free hockey as they have? Well, I think if you're Lightning, you have to assume that they will, so that means you need to try and match it best you can. And maybe it comes down to one shot, which is what happened in Game 2. Just so happened that shot came in the first 4.5 minutes of the game.
It seems cliche, and partner, they're not interested in playing hard and not being rewarded and doing things the right way, but can they rally behind, to some degree, Hagel being out, and just everybody kind of circle the wagons and say, okay, let's pick up the slack. We definitely need one here, and we've got to play a certain way without one of our best players.
Yeah, so, look, we were on the show yesterday before even the news broke that Hagel was going to have a hearing, and I said on the show I would be very surprised if the DOPS gets involved. The DOPS did get involved, and I'm just one of the many people on the Lightning side of the ledger representing the Lightning, working for the Lightning, playing for the Lightning, coaching the Lightning, managing the Lightning, and the front office staff are very, very surprised that Hagel was suspended. But that was the ruling. So, you know what the first thing I thought of was, Greg, I believe it was your first year with the team. The Lightning had a very tough first-round series against Detroit in 2015. They easily could have lost that series. They ended up winning it and advancing to the Stanley Cup Final. They were down 3-2 in the series. They went to Detroit for Game 6. They played a very good Game 6. They won Game 6. In that 6th game, Nicholas Kronwall, I think it was Kucherov, actually, he laid out Kucherov with a big hit, sort of hits that he was known for throughout his career. The Red Wings fans called it being Kronwalled, and he got suspended. And he was suspended for Game 7. And the Red Wings felt about that suspension, I think, the way the Lightning feel about the Hagel suspension. And the Red Wings didn't win Game 7. The only reason the Red Wings didn't win Game 7 is that Ben Bishop flat out stole that game for the Lightning. The Red Wings were so motivated to shove it up you-know-who's rear end, the league's basically. It's like the world's against us. We blew our chance to win the series. We have to go on the road. No one's giving us a chance. We lost one of our top defenders in a way that we don't think we should have. We're going to go out and show them. And they did circle the wagons, and they played well enough to win. Let's see if the Lightning are able to do that tonight. Because I can tell you, losing the first 2 at home, most people around the league are like, the series is over. The Panthers are the defending champs. They're coming home. Barkov is fine enough to play anyway. And the Lightning are missing one of their top players and top penalty killers and top guys as a result of a hit which prevented Barkov from finishing game 2, but not keeping him out of the series. So look, you can tell I'm getting worked up about it. Imagine how the Lightning feel. So the hope is that, yes, they're able to rally around that and play a very spirited game. And, sometimes that is enough to break down the other team. Maybe the Panthers let their foot off the gas a little bit because they're like, they don't have Hagel. We got Barkov. We're coming home. We've handled them in the first 2 games. It's just wash, rinse, repeat. Well, maybe not. So we'll see what happens today.
Barna, before we let you go here, I'm curious, as you sit there, what are your keys? What are some things you're going to be looking at, especially early on, see if the Lightning are on their game?
Well, can they match what we've seen from Florida defensively? I think that's 1. Can they generate some chances offensively? That's 2. How will the Ekblad return affect the Panthers, if at all? He is coming in after missing 20 games due to suspension. He's going to slot right in on the top pairing with Gustav Forsling, and the Panthers have decided to scratch Uvis Belinskis, who has played very well for them in the series. So I'm kind of curious to see how the Panthers adjust to that. But basically, the Lightning have to try and not fall behind, and one sure way to do that is to defend at a high level. Well, we'll see if that's the way the first period plays out. The Lightning were the best first period team during the regular season in terms of goal differential, but they have had a couple of tough first periods, at least in terms of the score so far in this series, in that they have been down by a goal after the first period in each of the first 2 games in the series. Andrei Vasilevsky leads the Lightning out onto the ice. He is in the net to my left. Lightning move left to right in the first, in the road white jerseys, blue numbers. So no Hagel. Darren Radish essentially replaces him in the lineup as the 7th defenseman. You heard Eric say that the way the Lightning are working the 11 forwards, Mitchell Chaffee, who spent a good portion of game 2 playing with Glendening and Girgensons, is with Glendening and Girgensons. So that's a line. The line of 2 is Gonsalves and Cirelli. And then you have Gord, Paul, and Geekie as a line, and of course Gensel with Point and Kucherov. Sergei Bobrovsky in the net to my right for the Panthers, who go right to left in the first. In their home red jerseys, white numbers and white sleeves. The season of Lightning hockey is presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Lightning. Referees for Game 3 are Wes McCauley and Furman South. The linesmen are Bevan Mills and Devin Berg. Game 3 about to get underway. Lightning need a win. They're down 0-2 in the series. Opening faceoff coming up next on Lightning Radio.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited.
Hey sports fans, thank you for hanging out with us and chatting it up. We're thrilled to bring you the Playoff Pulse. Catch every single NHL and NBA playoff game right here while supporting an incredible cause, SickKids Hospital. Together, we can make a difference with every single view.
Holy Mackinac! Joe Bowen here, the voice of your Toronto Maple Leafs. Every moment you watch on Toronto Sports Insider helps SickKids Hospital. 100% of Leafs playoff stream revenue goes straight to their life-saving care, helping kids in our community and beyond. This is what Playoff Pulse is all about, bringing playoff excitement and making a lasting impact for those who need it most. So let's rally together and show sick kids we're in their corner.
Hey everyone, Easton Cowan here. Let's amplify our impact. Every like, share, and subscribe boost our donations to Sick Kids. Watch the games, get hyped, and spread the word to grow our Playoff Pulse community. Join us now.
Road tripper, an occasional commuter, or just a regular old point A to beer. Everyone can earn rewards and save up to $1 a gallon. And you can join Marathon Rewards online, through the app, and even at the pump, making signing up easy for every kind of signer-upper. At participating locations, terms and conditions apply.
Since 1889, the Tampa YMCA has been at the heart of our community, dedicated to inspiring health and well-being across Tampa Bay. The Tampa Metropolitan Area YMCA is committed to building healthy, confident, connected, and secure communities, meeting each individual where they are and helping them reach their most fulfilled life. Join us today and be a part of something bigger, the Y, where history meets hope and every day is an opportunity to grow. For more information on how to become involved, visit us at tampaymca.org. The Y, strengthening our community, one life at a time.
At PNC Bank, the official retail bank of the Tampa Bay Lightning, we've always taken a boring approach to handling your money. Not only is it smart, it's reliable. And why would we ever want to be unreliable with anyone's money? Some of those customers could be big, tough hockey players who'd gladly give up their teeth for a win. Oh, that's gonna hurt. But really, we just think boring is the smartest way to help ensure your money's there for exciting things in life. Like intentionally placing your body in front of a frozen rubber puck traveling at 100 miles per hour. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Lightning Power Lunch with Dave Mishkin and Greg Linnelli. Weekdays noon to 1. Watch on Facebook, YouTube, and X by following Bolts Radio.
All right, getting ready for Game 3, Lightning and Panthers from sunrise. Lightning, the highest scoring team in the NHL's regular season, limited to just 2 goals through 2 games. Lightning start a line of Cirelli, Gonzalez, and Girgensons. Girgensons spent some time at points this year playing with Hagel and Cirelli. Sam Bennett and Cirelli at center ice, won by Cirelli. We're underway. Eric Chernak to the red line, pumps this in. Hard around, Seth Jones touches it down the far side length of the ice. They wave off icing. Vasilevsky feeds to the far corner, McDonough, around the near side, Chernak. Right wing, Gage Gonsalves. Deals to center ice, and McDonough 3-3 across the blue line. He'll turn it for Gonsalves, right circle. Right point, Kucherov, who came out on the ice. A cross-ice feed blocked by Matthew Tkachuk, comes out of the zone. Moser, quick regroup. Gonsalves backhands it in. There's Jones behind the Florida net, losing Kucherov, right corner. Kucherov is checked. Evan Rodriguez a steal up the near boards. Bennett clears. Maybe an icing. No, they're going to wave it off. Opening minute, no score. Hedman a regroup. Victor Hedman up the middle at center. Right wing, Moser. Couldn't dump it in. Reinhardt a steal. He'll lift this into the Lightning far corner. Hedman to grab. Hedman cranks it around the near boards. Yanni Gord. He'll try and touch it out. Held in Forsling. That was not well done. Behind the net to Barkov. Alexander Barkov, right circle, right point, Ekblad. Shoots wide right. Rebound grab by Hedman by the net. Around the near boards, he'll send it Geekie. And he does clear. Forsling reverses it for Carter Verhaeghe. Left wing Barkov. Across the line, Barkov at the left circle. Barkov is rubbed out by Geekie. Moser has the puck. Not a good pass, stolen by Marchand. Right point, Kulikov. Good play. Nick Paul got in on him and forces it out of the zone. Barkov had it lost at Gord. Yanni Gord will maneuver it into the Panthers' end. 90 seconds played, no score. Kulikov in front of the Florida net. Looking things over, left wing Nate Schmidt. 3 goals in the series. Fires it in. Off the carom, it comes behind the net, Anton Lundell. Lundell peels to the right circle and shoots. Save Vasilevsky with the glove, and he holds on. Lilleberg knocked down Luostarinen in front. As the save was made. 18-13 left in a scoreless first. We'll get a face-off to the left of Vasilevsky. Cirelli to take the draw against Nico Sturm. Cirelli wins it. Lilleberg in the Lightning far corner. Pitches it out. Nicely done. Puck bounces into the Panthers zone. Schmidt knocks it down and counters. Nate Schmidt up the middle. It was way offside. The winger on that far side, Boquist, thought Schmidt was going to dump it in. So he was a good 5 feet ahead of the play into the offensive zone. We'll get a neutral zone face-off. Not quite 2 minutes in. No score in the game. And here comes the line of Point, Gensel, and Kucherov. See if they can get going offensively. Gensel and Point have the 2 Lightning goals in the series. Barkov and Point. Won by the Lightning. It's loose in the Lightning end, though, and Verhaeghe grabs it right circle and shoots. Blocked in front. He gets it again. Shoots, blocked. Kucherov clears. That was not well done at all by the Lightning off the faceoff. They won the draw, and Verhaeghe just jumped on the puck. Ekblad dumps it in. The puck is alive for Forsling, left point. Cranks it by the Lightning. That's going to come around to the far side. Hedman couldn't clear. Great play. Barkov holds it in. Left circle, Reinhart. Feeds it in front, Ekblad. Save Vasilevsky, and he holds on. Well, Barkov started that play with just a brilliant keep, but again, the Lightning have to make sure the puck gets out. Forget about offense. Forget about trying to jump up in the play. The puck needs to get out of the defensive zone first. And the Panthers made the steal, and Ekblad had a grade A right in front. Huge save by Vasilevsky. I understand Hedman's trying to spring the attack there, but Barkov is so good with his stick. He read it and held it in. Rodriguez thrown out of this face-off against Cirelli. Bennett will take it. So a big early stop on Ekblad from Vasilevsky. Cirelli wins the draw. McDonough peels to the Lightning far corner, around to the near side, and Chernak guides out to Nick Paul at center. Paul checked by Mikkola. Comes into the Lightning end. They say onside. Bennett left circle, cuts in front, lost it. Rebound, score. Matthew Tkachuk. I think the Lightning may look at challenging this for offside. Now, if Paul brought it back into his own end, it's not offside, but that is so rarely called. Trying to see where this replay starts. I mean, just incredible puck luck for the Panthers, because Bennett lost the puck, but it came right across to Tkachuk, who backhands it in. The play starts in the neutral zone. Paul is checked, and the puck is forced back into the Lightning end, where there were Panthers in there already. Are the Lightning going to challenge this? That's what they're talking about at the bench. Tkachuk will get his third goal. Otherwise, I don't know if the Lightning are going to risk a challenge. I haven't seen it conclude. Here's the one. All right, let's see. Mikkola forces the puck back in, but I guess they are not going to roll the dice, the Lightning. So Tkachuk gets the goal. Another, I mean, there's no other way to put it. Just two lucky breaks there for the Panthers, because at least 5 times out of 10, that's called offside. And then Bennett loses the puck, and it comes right to Tkachuk, who has an open net. Gensel at center ice rolls it in. So the Panthers have played very well in the series. They've also gotten the breaks, and they got a break right there. Ekblad in his own zone pumps it down the ice. I mean, Bennett was 10 feet offside when the puck came back in, but they said Paul knocked it in himself. Chernak by the Lightning net. The far side, Gensel trying to clear, held in Verhaeghe right point. A pass picked off by Gensel. Couldn't clear, held in Ekblad right circle. Lightning have to settle down. Ekblad across his feet, knocked away by Kucherov. Kucherov goes to the Lightning near corner. Pivots on Carter Verhaeghe and touches it for McDonough. So the goal stands for Matthew Tkachuk. Bennett the lone assist. 1-0 Florida. Here's Kucherov up the middle at center. Across the blue line, center point. Dances left circle. Kucherov, a pass blocked by Seth Jones. Then he tried to drop it to the point. It's taken away by Anton Lundell. Lundell to the red line. Taps it in. Marchand pursues behind the Lightning net. Keeps it alive for Anton Lundell. Drop pass picked off Chafee. Mitchell Chafee counters up the left wing to the red line. Spins it in and chases. Chafee stays with it left circle. Chafee got loose from Jones. Mitchell Chafee left circle. Chafee shoots, blocked by Jones, who recovers to block the shot, and it comes out of the zone to Marchand. Marchand pounds it in. Vasilevsky stops the puck by the Lightning net. Touches for Lilleberg in the near corner. Right side outlet, Mitchell Chafee. Chafee to center ice. The middle, here's Lilleberg punching this in. 1-0 Panthers in the first. Cirelli after the puck in the forecheck bumps Kulikov for Nate Schmidt. Can Schmidt clear it? Yes. Hedman knocks it down at center ice up the middle. Cirelli. Cirelli bangs it in. Schmidt knocks it down. Left wing Kulikov. Dmitry Kulikov to center ice and Boquist. Couldn't dump it in. Good play. Moser knocks it away for Cirelli. Left wing Yanni Gord. Gord pounds it in. Bobrovsky stops it by the Panthers net. Little pass finds the stick of Sturm. Right side feed Samoskevich. To the red line he steps. He'll crank it in. Moser, right wing Gord. Gord pivots in his own zone. Looking to get away from Tkachuk. Up the middle, Hedman. Nice headman feed, Point to center ice. 3-on-3 across the Panthers line. Point drops it, high slot. Moser open. Shoots, blocked. And it deflects out of play. Well, that was a good-looking opportunity for Moser, but a Panther got in the way, and now Tkachuk involved, of course, after the whistle. First with Gensel and then with Lilleberg. Well, in all 3 games, the Panthers have scored early. This one was just a confluence of horrific luck for the Lightning. Usually when the forward has the puck at center ice and there's a defenseman on his tail and the puck is kind of pushed back into the defensive zone, they call that offside if there's an attacking player still in the zone. And they chose not to, and the Panthers took advantage. And then they got a lucky break where Bennett fumbles the puck, but it works as a perfect pass. Draw to the right of Bobrovsky. Reinhart and Gensel on the draw. Won by Florida. Ekblad behind the Panthers net. Feeds it to center ice. It's picked up by Barkov across the line. Reinhart. Pass knocked away by McDonough. McDonough tripped. Barkov will get it in the right corner. Left point Forsling. Shoot. Save Vasilevsky. Rebound Barkov in the left corner. Barkov checked. Where's the puck? It comes to Forsling. Left point. Center point Ekblad. Flips one over the net. Puck alive for Carter Verhaeghe in the right corner. Verhaeghe wins it right circle. A little pass, bounces to Barkov, right point. Lightning chasing on the shift. Barkov takes a right point shot that goes wide left. Gensel grabs. Gensel works for McDonough in the Lightning far corner. He'll turn for Kucherov behind the Lightning net. We play nearly 6 minutes. The Panthers have a 1-0 lead. Kucherov holding onto the puck behind the Lightning goal. Looking things over. A little pass, misses Cirelli, comes out of the zone. And Jones will bang it back in. There's Radish behind the Lightning net. Shoveling for Hedman. Matthew Tkachuk a steal. Centering pass cut up by Geekie. Counter Geekie. On his backhand trying to clear. Held in by Mikkola at the left point. He tried to wind it to the near corner. Radish a takeaway. Darren Radish out to center ice. Along the right wing, he'll fire it in. The heart around comes all the way out of the zone though. Hedman in the neutral ice area. Forces it in. Big collision there at center ice between Tkachuk and Geekie. In the meantime, here's Rodriguez to the Lightning end. He gets checked by Darren Radish. Puck grabbed by Nick Paul. Paul trying to clear, couldn't. Geekie follows up, drops it for Hedman, back for counter Geekie. Cross-ice Darren Radish out to center ice. Up the middle, Nick Paul deflects this in on Bobrovsky. Tough pass, intercepted. Gergensen's left circle shot in and out of the glove of Bobrovsky. Puck grabbed by Nick Paul left corner. He'll slam it to Nick Perbix right circle. Drops it right point Gonsalves. Shoots wide right. Rebound Boquist. Jesper Boquist chips it out. Lilleberg knocks it down. A cross-ice feed deflects to the Panthers end. Forsling will intercept but ice it. So a little bit of up-ice pressure there for the Lightning. 12:51 left in the first, and Panthers got it out, but then Forsling on his side of the red line shoots it down the ice for an icing. Well, the Panthers have had the run of play, but of course they got the benefit of the early goal. Good chip for the Barkov line. About 2 shifts ago. Gensel and Sturm to the right of Bobrovsky. Won by the Panthers. Forsling, left wing, Boquist. Clears. It's going to bounce to Samoskevich. He was in an offside position. This will be a TV timeout, but the faceoff will come back to the Panthers' defensive zone. 1-0 Florida in the first on Lightning Radio.
Amalie Motor Oil tips its hat to the manly man.
Manly man.
You had a beard before it was cool, like in 3rd grade.
Manly man.
You get up before the sun because it's lazy and weak.
Manly man.
And you know that nothing protects your engine better than Amalie Elixir Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Family owned and Tampa Bay grown.
AMALIE, better than it has to be. Amalie.
A proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Hey, Dave Mishkin here from Lightning Radio. Join Greg Linnelli and me every weekday at 12 Eastern for Lightning Power Lunch. It's an hour of Lightning hockey talk to keep you up to date on the very latest with the team. You can listen live in the Lightning mobile app or watch the live stream on Facebook, Instagram, and X by following Bolts Radio. If you missed the live show, download the podcast afterward in your favorite podcast app. Lightning Power Lunch airs weekdays at noon Eastern on the Lightning Audio Network.
Jack Daniels has always made whiskey. If they have it their way, they always will. There's one thing Jack can't make more of: moments. Those are on us to create. Make sure we're making the most of every moment. Make it count. Jack Daniels. Please drink responsibly. Tennessee Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Copyright 2024, Jack Daniels. All rights reserved.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Panthers lead 1-0. A goal from Matthew Tkachuk, his third of the series at 2:43 of the first. Bennett and Rodriguez got the assists. I'm trying to watch a replay, but my internet is very slow, so I wanted to see how they gave an assist to Rodriguez, because I thought Bennett picked the puck up once it re-entered the Lightning end. Oh, no, Rodriguez did touch it first, so that's the right call. Draw coming to the left of Bobrovsky. Barkov in point. Won cleanly by point. Chernak at the right point. Shoot, save Bobrovsky. That was a good shot on net. Reinhart tied up by Braden Point. Reinhart stays with it. Gave it away. Kucherov, left circle. Kucherov works for Braden Point, left point, center point, Hedman. Shoot, save made Bobrovsky with a glove, and he holds on. Well, that's a good shift for the Lightning. They won the faceoff. There was a shot from the point. The Panthers had it. Lightning applied pressure, forced the turnover, another shot on net. See if they can build on that. Faceoff coming to Bobrovsky's right. Now, Geekie was trying to come over the boards, and they send him back to the bench for some reason. No, they're sending Radish back to the bench. Cirelli is out there. He'll take the faceoff against Lundell. To Bobrovsky's right. Won again by the Lightning. Hedman left point, right point to Chernak. Shoots intentionally wide right. Rebound, pinballs right in front. Shot taken Gonçalves. Deflects. Goodness. Out of play. I mean, he was in the high slide area, and I don't even think a Panther was trying to block the shot. It just hit something and went out of play. It's a credit to how well the Panthers protect the front of their net. Yeah, there was a Panther player, I think it was Jones, who just stuck his stick out there and it hit the stick. All right, a couple of ozone faceoff wins in a row for the Lightning. They come back with the point line. Gensel will take this draw against Reinhart to the right of Bobrovsky. 50-50. It's actually won by the Panthers. Ekblad couldn't clear. Held in Gensel in front for point. A pass blocked. Kucherov follows up right circle. Shoot! Save made by Bobrovsky. Rebound held in Hedman left point. Wheels. Shoots just wide right. Here's Darren Radish right circle getting checked. Reinhart bangs it out. Barkov looks to skate onto this into the Lightning zone. He's checked by Hedman. Hedman erases him. Braden Point. A pass blocked. Puck came up front. Quick shot. Barkov saved by Vasilevsky. Gensel taps it down the ice and chases. Gensel tied up by Forsling. Gensel trying to get away. The two players go tumbling to the ice. They let any potential penalty go. Kucherov a steal in the right corner. Cross ice Luke Glendening left circle. Glendening checked by Barkov. Barkov holding on to Glendening. No call. Reinhart clears. Back in the Lightning end, it's McDonough. Right wing Eric Chernak. The center ice Glendening deflects this in on Bobrovsky. Leaves it for Schmidt behind the Panthers net. Off the near boards. It's out of the zone. McDonough collects. Well, early on, they're letting a lot go on both sides. McDonough, left side feed. Here's Gergensons across the line. There's a man open in front, Glendening, but the pass came in on Bobrovsky, who gloves it. And now shoves exchange in front. Schmidt going at it with Chafee. Lightning starting to have a little bit more activity in the offensive zone. We are going to get at least one penalty here. Well, this was away from that altercation between Chafee and Schmidt. It's Marchand going off for cross-checking. So the Lightning, who have gone 1 for 8 on the power play in the series, will get the first power play of Game 3. Call it 8:50 of the first on Marchand. Cross-checking. Oh, I see. Cross-check Gergensons before the Schmidt-Chafee
scrum started. Lightning have had trouble winning faceoffs on their power play. Panthers went 5-1 on shorthanded faceoffs in Game 2. One big reason why the Lightning didn't have as much zone time as they would have liked on the power play. Not a good penalty taken by Marchand after the save was made. Cirelli and Sturm, one by Sturm. Forsland clears around the near boards down the length of the ice. Lightning have to start to get better at power play faceoffs, or else they're going to have a hard time having a lot of time in the O zone on the power play. Braden Point glides on the right wing to the red line. Drops it off to Kucherov. Across the blue line, check. Gensel follows up. Right circle, right point, Hedman. Feeds Gensel right circle. He's stripped by Sturm. He'll clear it down the near side of the length of the ice. It's like re-entering the zone with possession is tricky. Hedman up the middle. Kucherov taps it in on Bobrovsky. Knocks it away. Up the near boards for Mikkola. He does bang it out. Puck bounces to Hedman just inside the Lightning line. A feed comes to Cirelli. Bounced off his stick. Hedman having to regroup in the Lightning end. So you lose that face-off, and right now we're down to 1:10 of the power play. The Lightning have had no setup time in the offensive zone. Braden Point up the middle at center. Cross the blue line, Cirelli. Right point, Kucherov. Cross ice for Gensel, left circle. Center point, Hedman. Bangs the left corner point. Aggressive PK by Florida. Here's Kucherov, right circle. Right circle, Cirelli. Center point, Hedman. Left circle, Point. A shot, he didn't get all of it, and it came right to Seth Jones, who slings it down the far side of the length of the ice. Lightning are trying to move the puck quickly, but the Panthers reacted well to where the Lightning wanted to go. 40 on the power play. Darren Radish marches to the red line. Softly puts it into the near corner, but the Lightning are guilty of being offside. With no Hagel, the Lightning had to mix up the power play units a little bit. Cirelli was on the first unit. This unit, Gonsalves, Chafee, Paul, Radish, and Geekie. Face out right at center ice. 35 seconds left in the Marchand minor. Lundell and Paul. Paul wins it. Gage Gonsalves peels back to the Lightning end. Right wing, Darren Radish. Drop pass, Geekie. Geekie rumbles up the right wing at center. Across the blue line, gets checked, but the puck comes right to Gonsalves. Left circle, right circle, Paul, right point. Radish shoots, blocked in front. Rebound, Geekie, right circle. Try to drop it to the point, and it's stolen away by Boquist. They'll crank it down the near side of the length of the ice. Final 8 in the power play. Lightning about to be 1 for 9 in the series on the man advantage. Gage Gonsalves pedals out to center ice. Penalty is up. Gonsalves bangs it in. Still 1-0 Florida. Puck is golfed out to center ice by Nate Schmidt to Marchand. Now Barkov across the blue line. Drops it. High slot. Reinhart back for Barkov, trying to cut in front for a shot. Save made by Vasilevsky. That was dangerous. Reinhart in the right corner. Goes cross ice looking for Nate Schmidt. Schmidt is checked by Gonsalves. Following up at the left point for Hagee. No, skipped over his stick and comes back to the Panthers' end. Dmitry Kulikov collects. 8:43 left in the first. 1-0 Florida. Kulikov looking things over. A pass finds the stick of Evan Rodriguez at center ice. Cross ice feed. Blocked by Glendening, but it bounced off his stick. Bennett to steal. Across the blue line, left circle. Left circle, Kachuk. Right circle, Rodriguez. Right point, Jones. Shoots, save Vasilevsky, and he holds on. TV timeout, 8:25 left in the first. Lightning down 1-0 on Lightning Radio.
This winter, take a steakcation at Outback Steakhouse, starting at $14.99. Enjoy delicious Canberra chopped steak and a red wine glaze. Savor a flavourful bloomin' French onion sirloin, or sink your teeth into a sizzling 18-ounce bone-in ribeye with signature spices. It's better than a staycation at home.
Dad, I thought we were taking a steakcation, not a staycation!
Your steakcation starts at $14.99 for a limited time. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
At Tampa Electric, we're proud to provide you with
Hey, you! Yeah, you! I'm talking to you! Thanks for hanging out with us. This is TSI Mike, and now that we've got your attention, we're bringing you every single game of the NBA and NHL playoffs while supporting SickKids Hospital in Toronto through our Playoff Pulse campaign. Let's grow our global community. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell, and join the action.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Joe Bowen here, voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Playoff Pulse on Toronto Sports Insider is all about playoff thrills and making a difference, with 100% of Leaf playoff stream revenue going directly to SickKids for their life-saving treatments and research. We're aiming for 100,000 insiders to boost our impact. So subscribe now and be a part of this incredible movement. Holy Mackinac! Let's show SickKids Hospital we're here for them. Join us today.
Hey you, yeah you, Easton Cowan, Leafs prospect here. I'm loving these Playoff Pulse live hangouts. Subscribe and turn on the bell to catch every game. Keep the chat buzzing and let's cheer for SickKids together. See you in the chat.
Cross ice to Tkachuk, who had an open net. So that's the goal that's been scored so far in the game. The Panthers again lead early, as they have done in all 3 games in the series. 8:25 left in the first. Draw to the left of Vasilevsky. Cirelli wins the draw from Evan Rodriguez. Moser does clear it barely. Jones almost held that in, bounced off his stick at the red line. Rodriguez dumps it in. Moser around the far side does get it out this time. It's live at center ice. Matthew Tkachuk, we're going to force this back in. Does to Evan Rodriguez. That looked offside. They said it was okay. Rodriguez bangs it behind the net. It's going to come around to Mikkola left circle. Cross ice pass Rodriguez. Loses Moser. Moser gave it away. Bennett. Right point Ekblad. Ekblad shoots. That was deflected, but Vasilevsky ready to react to that redirection. He gloves it out of the air. In game 1, the Panthers' forecheck really created a lot of problems to the Lightning. Seen it a couple of times here in game 3, where the Lightning have had a little bit of an issue clearing the zone. Paul and Lundell to the left of Vasilevsky. Paul wins it. Lilleberg a pass, stolen Lundell. There we go again. Lightning won the draw, but lost the puck. Marchand right circle. A pass by the Lightning net, cut up by Lilleberg. Lilleberg trying to clear. He whiffs on it. Held in. Lundell, right point shot blocked. Rebound bouncing around in front. Where is it? Gord got it away. Chafee. Goodness, what a misadventure that was for the Lightning. Chafee to center ice, dumped this in from beyond the red line. No icing. A break for the Lightning. They wave it off. Kulikov. Flung by Chafee. He hammered him. Following up is Marchand. Up the middle, Schmidt clears. At center ice, Radish looks to knuckleball it forward for Yanni Gord. Gord to the right circle. Gord couldn't get it away from Kulikov. Find it at Nate Schmidt. 1-0 Florida in the first. Left wing at Tulowosterinen. Spins to center ice and Samoskevich. He'll hot potato it in. Lilleberg after the puck by the Lightning net. Knocks down Sturm, who was pursuing him. Puck grabbed by Samoskevich, though, loses Geekie. Geekie bumps it behind the net. Lilleberg, a man is on him, needs a clear here. He couldn't get it out. Held in Ekblad right point. A pass knocked away by Lilleberg, and this time he did barely get it out. Ekblad almost blocked that and held it in. He did block it, but it came outside the zone. Brought it back in for an offside. We mentioned this in game 1. I mean, if the Lightning are going to try and rim it or pass it, and they're having all of these problems, it's time to start flipping it out and fight the battle in the neutral zone. Glendening wins the faceoff from Rodriguez. Perbix holds on to it in front of the Lightning net. Lightning got a quick change following the faceoff win. The point line comes over the boards. Hedman a point on the right wing to the red line. Speeds across the blue line right circle. Braden Point pulls up. Right circle Perbix. Nick Perbix into the right corner. Centers it. Bobrovsky knocks it away with his goalie stick, and countering up the middle at center ice is Reinhart for Bennett. Across the blue line. Back to Reinhart behind that. Put it in front for Hagee. A shot. Save Vasilevsky, and he holds on. 6:23 left in the first. 1-0 Panthers. The Panthers have had the more dangerous chances in the first period. We'll get a face-off to Vasilevsky's left. The Lundell line comes out for the draw against Cirelli. .50-50, won by the Panthers. Ekblad to the right point. Shoots, blocked, rebound. Gonsalves lost it. Marchand shoots. Save made Vasilevsky. Lightning are having fumbleitis in their own end right now, and the Panthers are converging on it. Chernak couldn't clear. Held in Marchand left circle. Cuts in front. A backhand shot wide right. Cirelli is after it. Cirelli pops it out. That's the way to do it. Forsling back in his own end. A feed at the left side. Marchand trying to get it in. It's knocked away by McDonough. And here is Gonçalves feeding Cirelli up the middle. Across the line, Jake Gensel, right circle. Gensel to the slot. Holds. Shoots. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound Lundell. Couldn't clear it out. Held in Gage Gonçalves in front Gensel. Gensel is checked. Where's the puck? Lewostarinen trying to clear it. Moser looking to hold this in. Moser does. Rims it behind that. It's going to come around to the near boards. Held in Gensel. Right circle Gage Gonçalves. Slips it toward point in front. It's knocked away Ekblad. Now Barkov out to center. Barkov on the right wing. Shovels it in and chases. Barkov after it by the Lightning net. Hammered by Moser. Nicely done. Puck played up the near boards and out by Braden Point. Verhaeghe a regroup. Verhaeghe chips it back in and chases. Verhaeghe is crunched by Moser. Puck played by Victor Hedman in the Lightning far corner. A clearing attempt. Is it out? Yes, goodness. Tapped out by Moser. Here's Mikkola back in his own zone for Florida. Both sides are getting a change. Under 5 to play in the first. 1-0 Panthers. Nico Mikkola walks it up the left wing. To center ice he steps. Cranks it in. Vasilevsky chips it to the far corner. Chafee behind the net. Perbix. Right wing Emil Lilleberg. Whiffs on a pass. Taken away Sam Miskevich. Cross ice feed. Here's Nico Sturm. Right corner Boquist. Cross ice pass knocked away by Nick Paul. Paul trying to clear up the near board. Sturm blocks it. Not out yet. Held in by Sturm. Now Lilleberg for Chafee out of the zone. Sam Miskevich dumps this back in. Some of this is the Panthers applying pressure. Some of it is just the Lightning not executing when they have time to make a play. Out of the defensive zone. 4:15 left in the first. 1-0 Panthers. Perbix holds onto the puck by the Lightning net. He'll bank it out. At center ice, here's Gord. It looked like he was offside across the blue line. He carried it, but the puck was behind him. So this is going to be a neutral zone face-off when we come back. 4:07 left in the first. It is 1-0 Panthers on Lightning Radio.
With Marathon Rewards, you can save up to $1 a gallon, and you'll earn every time you refuel. So when you stop in to fill up your tank, you're also banking rewards at the same time. It's a little move we like to call the Tank and Bank. And to be frank, joining Marathon Rewards couldn't be more straightforward. I guess now that makes it a frank Tank and Bank situation. Sign up online, from our app, and even at the pump. At participating locations, terms and conditions apply.
Since 1889, the Tampa YMCA has been at the heart of our community, dedicated to inspiring health and well-being across Tampa Bay. Whether it's kids discovering their potential, families strengthening their bonds, or seniors embracing vibrant lives, the Y has been a beacon of support for generations. Join us today and be a part of something bigger. The Y, where history meets hope and every day is an opportunity to grow. Visit us at tampaymca.org. The Y, strengthening our community, one life at a time.
On this week's episode of the Bolts Block Party, powered by High Ally IPA, Wolfie and Kobe, and we caught up with the Lightning color analyst of our broadcast, Brian Engblom.
We talked about his run with the Habs, 3 Stanley Cups.
Great locker room stories as well.
And of course, his transition from NHL player to NHL broadcaster.
Taking pucks and sticks to the face while trying to run a broadcast.
Warrior.
Lots going on this week on the Bolts Block Party podcast. Download it wherever you guys get your favorite podcasts.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
1-0 Panthers, 4:07 left in the first. Neutral zone draw between Gord and Bennett. When the Lightning have had a little bit of room in the offensive zone, if I'm being honest, they've held onto the puck looking for maybe something better, and something better has not materialized. Gensel had the puck in the middle of the ice and held onto it, skated to the left side of the ice, gave himself a less good angle. It was a decent shot, but it was a more manageable save for Bobrovsky, which he made. Gord's thrown out of the draw against Bennett. Geekie will take it. Bennett wins it. Nate Schmidt in his own zone. Swings for Kulikov to the center ice circle. He'll fire it in. Vasilevsky stops it by the Lightning net. Short feet Moser. Dumps it around the near boards. Gonçalves settles down a puck and edge and zips to Gord at center ice. He never touched it. Just too many mistakes the Lightning are making in the defensive zone, trying to come out. Either it is getting intercepted, or they got it out, but it wasn't a clean exit, so it's an icing. Bennett and Gord to the right of Vasilevsky. Bennett's given a warning. And it's controlled by the Lightning. Nicely done by Yanni Gourde. Nick Perbix carries it up the middle at center ice, across the line to Geekie, left circle. Geekie shoots, and that was blocked away by Bobrovsky. Gourde follows up right point. Right corner, Geekie off his stick. Gourde looks to hold it in. Instead, Tkachuk turns it out. Nate Schmidt to center ice. Schmidt checked by Perbix. He is going to fumble the puck away to Geekie. Geekie back at the red line, drills it in. 1-0 Panthers in the first. Here's Gustav Forsling by the Florida net. Left wing, Nate Schmidt. Schmidt a pass, deflected by Gourde. It does come out of the zone. Chernak will get to it, but he misses on a pass here for Kucherov, and that is an unforced icing against the Lightning. At this point in this game, at this point in the series, the Lightning just need something good to happen. It feels like they're swimming upstream, and yeah, the Panthers are playing well, but the Lightning are making a lot of self-inflicted errors. And Gourde is still out there. He was unable to get off the ice. He's going to take the draw against Barkov to the right of Vasilevsky, and it's one for Reinhart. Left point Forsling. Punches it behind the net. Barkov is there. Barkov zips it right circle. Reinhart shoots, save Vasilevsky. McDonough is after the puck. McDonough wins it. Turns to Kucherov. He'll clear. No icing this time, I don't think. No. Lightning complete their change. Forsling up the near board, stolen by Gensel. They'll feed it. Center point Kucherov. Kucherov makes a little move, right circle, looking for Gensel. He open! Score! Jake Gensel! Well, that time he stayed right in the middle of the ice. Off Bobrovsky, and in it's 1-1. Kucherov eluded the check. Got it to Gensel. And Jake has his second goal in the series. The Lightning have tied it. And they did it with the Barkov line and Forsling out on the ice. That unit takes the minus. Gensel's second in the series. Kucherov should, I believe, get the only assist. He intercepted the outlet. Radish. Right side feed, Chafee deflects this in. Nick Paul after it, left circle. Left circle, Cirelli. Zips it for Radish, right circle. Important shift after a goal here. Chafee, right circle, had it lost in Marchand. For Jones, up the middle, Anton Lundell. Directs it in. Cirelli back to get it defensively. Cirelli off the far glass. Does get it out. Jones cranks it in. Cirelli quickly out Radish to center. Up the middle, Chafee. Across the blue line, right circle. Goes cross ice, Nick Paul, left circle. Left point, Hedman. Shoots wide left. There's Radish, right circle. Looking for Cirelli behind the net. Cirelli checked by Eetu Luostarinen. Puck grab by Jones, gave it away. Chafee center point. Turns it right circle, Radish. Shoots, blocked. Brad Marchand trying to clear. Up the far boards, Nick Paul. Crashes into Mikkola, holds it in. Left corner, Chafee. Good shift here for the Lightning. Right circle, Radish. By the net, Chafee. Mitchell Chafee to the right corner. Right circle, Radish. Finally gives it up to Seth Jones. Right side feed, Nico Mikkola. Golfs it out to center ice. It's retaken by Point for Gensel. Across the Panthers line. He'll make his way to the right corner. Mikkola chops at it for Jones. Can Point hold this in? Braden Point, right circle Kucherov. 1-1 our score late first. Braden Point of the right circle. Battling. Kucherov and a Panther player go tumbling to the ice. And we have a whistle. And we have a roughing minor. This one may be going on Kucherov. Tkachuk comes in late to shove with Kucherov.
86 Tampa's got a minor or rough.
Yeah, that's not what the Lightning needed there. Their first bit of momentum, wind at their back in the whole game. Offensive zone pressure, and Kucherov was tied up with a Panther and basically just tackled him. Oh, it was Bennett. So the Lightning go on the slide insurance penalty kill at 18:44 of the first. I thought the Marchand penalty was not a great penalty to take. That one was not a great penalty to take for the Lightning. Panthers are 3 for 6 in the series. Glendening and Barkov to the right of Vasilevsky. Won by Barkov. Seth Jones at the left point. Left circle, it's Samoskevich. Turning it for Barkov, left circle. Barkov left corner. Shoots off the side of the net. Rebound Barkov behind the net. Barkov watched by Chernak. Chernak checks him. Puck played by McDonough in the far corner. He's pinned by Reinhart. Final minute of the period. Lightning on the penalty kill here. Puck alive in the Lightning far corner. McDonough trying to freeze it. It does come free to Chernak. Chernak under pressure. Chernak works it for Luke Glendening. He'll sweep it down the middle of the ice in on Bobrovsky. Oh, it got past him. It would have gotten in the net, but it went wide. Came out to play, and he just missed it. Jones with 38 in the period. Drop past Barkov to center. Up the middle, it's Reinhart. Across the blue line, Samoskevich right circle. Feeds it cross ice for Barkov. It's taken away by Jake Guentzel. He'll punch it down the near wing the length of the ice. 25 seconds left in the first. Seth Jones winds up. Jones up the middle at center. Left wing for Hagee. Launches this in. That looked like it went out of play. Well, they're going to say he was in the zone, though. Lightning are arguing at the bench, saying Verhaeghe was out at center ice. Now they correct themselves. 14.4 seconds left in the first. 1-1 the score. Lightning took a gut punch early, but Guentzel, as he did in Game 1, gets the goal to tie the game. Now, see if the Lightning can actually get out of this period tied. Something they have not been able to do in any of the periods so far in the series. Glendening and Bennett won by the Lightning. Chernak will bounce it down the ice. Bobrovsky leaves it for Schmidt. Final 6 seconds in the period. Nate Schmidt, left wing for Hagee at the red line. Feeds it across the line. Bennett. Sam Bennett loses Chernak. A final clear down the far side of the length of the ice. That'll do it. Panthers will carry 44 seconds of power play time into period 2. 1-1 our score after 1. Greg has the first intermission report coming up on Lightning Radio.
Get caught up on the Lightning every morning with the Daily Strike podcast. In less than 5 minutes, you get the latest news on the team, Dave Mishkin highlights, Coach Cooper and player comments, plus this date in Lightning history. The Daily Strike podcast, available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hi folks, Phil Esposito here, Hockey Hall of Famer. Well, who knew that I was going to go a little bit deaf? I lost my hearing a little bit. People kept telling me, what's wrong with you? You can't hear. So guess what? They were right. I went to Audibel. Audibel took care of me. It was incredible. Audibel, they are terrific. And by the way, Audibel's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Book your free hearing test now at floridahearing.com. Hear better, live better. Looking for expert construction services in Tampa Bay? Waterman Construction Group is your go-to for commercial and residential projects. From demolition to new HVAC, patios, pavers, and driveways, they've got you covered. Whether it's a new build, remodel, or storm repair, Waterman Construction handles your project from start to finish with personalized service, honest pricing, and guaranteed same-day response. Visit watermanconstructiongroup.com or call 813-715-7383. Waterman Construction, your vision is their mission. Tell them Mike Calta sent you. Mike Calta for my friends here at Super Heat and Air and Plumbing. Now, you guys have heard about BOGO deals in the past. Right now, Super Heat and Air and Plumbing is offering $3,000 in instant savings on select AC systems. That's so much better. No waiting, no mail-in rebates. Instant savings applied right away. Why is this happening? Because industry-wide price hikes are coming for ACs, water heaters, electrical panels, some as high as 20%. But because of Super Heat and Air's long-standing vendor relationships, they've locked in today's prices for our customers only up until May 10th. After May 10th, prices will go up across the board. It's not a scare tactic. It's just the reality of what rising material and manufacturing costs are. Once that date hits, they can no longer hold the pricing. So if you're thinking about upgrading your system or you know your system is on its way out, this is the smartest window to lock in savings before the cost jump. It's going to be a hot summer, and if your air is not working properly, now is the time to call Super Heat and Air and Plumbing and let them come on out and give you $3,000 in instant savings on select AC systems. Go to superheatandair.com. Tell them you heard about the deal on the Mike Calta Show, but do it before May 10th. Superheatandair.com.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Clean the spring pollen and allergens out of your home the easy way with Zerorez Air Duct Experts. Mention me, Mike Calta, and get $50 off your next air duct cleaning. Just use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZerorezTampaBay.com.
Score! Score! Victor Hedman!
This is the Lightning Audio Network Intermission Report.
The Lightning win it!
Here's Greg Linnelli.
Backdrop makes a little move, right circle, looking for Gensel. He open! Score! Get Gensel! Well, that time he stayed right in the middle of the ice! Off Bobrovsky, and in it's 1-1!
That's what you need, right? Panthers go up 1-0. Lightning not feeling great about themselves. But if you're able to counter that, one of your star players does, and evens things up at 1 apiece, that's a big boost. Kucherov with the assist. Gensel his second goal of these playoffs, and we've got a 1-1 game. No doubt about it. When you talk about the Panthers did generate more scoring opportunities, 12 shots on goal, Lightning with just 5. But give credit where credit's due. This is a tie game heading into the second period, and I think you'll take that if you are a Lightning fan. If you are a Lightning player, we'll talk about it with our panel here, Bobby the Chief Taylor and Eric Erlinson. By the way, when the Lightning score 4 or more goals or force a shutout, you're in a free double stack at any participating Tampa area Wendy's with any purchase upon request. Offer valid for 24 hours after today's game. Let's bring in the boys to talk about that first period. I'm going to go to Bobby the Chief Taylor first. And Chief, Tkachuk gets a goal. You know, the Panthers pressured, kept the puck in. Bennett fans on a shot. It goes to Tkachuk, able to get his third of the year, and then Gensel with a big one to tie things up. That is a big goal. What did you make of the first period?
Well, why there's such a large difference in the shot totals in zone time is that the Lightning are still trying to make those 80-foot passes. As soon as you have to give your defenseman an outlet, and all Florida's doing is keeping those two guys in on the top of the blue line or just outside the blue line, and they're knocking the puck down and keeping the puck inside the zone. You can't make a 70-foot. They've done. This is what they've been doing all throughout the first 2 games as well as the first period here. The Lightning outlet pass is a 90-foot pass. You have to bring the guys back. You have to come up a little sooner. You've got to give that defenseman an outlet, and that's what's keeping that puck inside their zone all the time because the Florida Panthers are doing that, and they're knowing that, and the Lightning haven't made the adjustment yet.
E, you're down in the locker room. What did you make of that first period? Panthers dictated play there, big goal by Gensel, but, you know, all in all, who got to their game better?
I mean, Florida's forecheck is just so good. They're just so relentless in their pursuit of the puck. And, you know, Chief was mentioning it. You got to be quick with your decisions, and you got to get out of the zone faster. And, you know, that's the exact result of Florida's first goal, right? Like, it was actually a face-off win for Tampa Bay. You know, but they reverse, and Florida forechecks, turns the puck over, and, you know, now you're out of sorts trying to scramble back to protect the front of your net, and they couldn't get there in time. So certainly Florida got the game to their game much quicker, but the Lightning weathered that storm. They didn't give up the next one. They found the tying goal. Now you got to build on it and, you know, give yourself opportunities here to, you know, take this game and, you know, get yourself back into the series.
Chief, when you take a look at Vasi and how he looked in that first period, you know, a good sign is when your goaltender is able to make the routine saves and also come up big here and there with ones that are pretty glorious when you talk about scoring chances. How do you think he played, and what do you make of Bobrovsky? Wasn't tested often, was he?
He hasn't been tested often in the whole series thus far. I mean, look at that icing. He almost had that puck been on the net. It was a goal. Went right through him. If you know, I don't know if you remember that call. Play, but it was an icing, and it went right through him, you know. And then you shoot from the top of the circle or right around there, you know, went right through him again. So he's, you know, you take every shot from the side, you have less net to shoot at, and he doesn't have to worry about it covering the whole net. You take it from the middle, he has to worry about both sides of the net. But again, you can't, you know, their forecheck, the Panthers' forecheck isn't as strong. It's much, they're keeping the puck inside the zone because the Lightning forwards are too far out of the zone. You can't keep having that 70-foot pass. I know I said that earlier, but that's the problem. They're knocking down the puck. Their defense are way up above the blue line, or the red line rather. They keep control of the play. The Lightning's defense, when the Florida has the puck, they're back by the top of the circle, allowing them to come in the circle, into the zone. You've got to make some adjustments, and to make it difficult for them to get into the zone, and even to get the puck out, you've got to come back and help out your D to get the puck out.
Yeah, it's a good point. And before we let you guys go, Mish was talking about it during the game that, you know, look, if if you can't get the puck out the way you want to, sometimes just flipping it out and live to fight another day, battle it in the neutral zone might be the way to go.
Yeah, what's the phrase? Clear the puck and live to fight another shift. That's kind of has to be the mentality sometimes, and you don't want to keep doing that because it's just giving the puck back. But you do have to relieve pressure sometimes, and sometimes just I used to call it the Dave Andrechuk flip. Right? We saw Andy do that so many times through the years when he was here, where he would just flip it out. It's not going to go down the ice, far enough for an icing, but you clear the zone and it gives you an opportunity to regroup and, kind of get your things your structure kind of set up. So, sometimes, safe is the best play, even though Craig Ramsey was safe as death. Sometimes, the safe play can be the right play just to give yourself a chance to kind of catch your breath and regroup.
All right, boys. Thank you. We'll talk to you during our second intermission report. Eric Erlinson by the Chief Taylor there. When the Lightning score 4 or more goals or force a shutout, you're free double stack at any participating Tampa area Wendy's with any purchase upon request. Offer valid for 24 hours after tonight's game. We will hear from E coming up in our next segment, catching up with a Lightning assistant coach, also Ben Pierce as well. Before we do that, let's pause 10 seconds so stations can identify themselves on Lightning Radio.
The latest news of the night.
Svechnikov and now Hamilton. Back for Andre. He's in for a shot. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
And don't forget, join us for a Game 4 watch party presented by Advent Health on Monday, April 28th at Midtown Tampa Bay. Come watch the Bolts take on the Panthers with your fellow Lightning fans. The party starts at 6 p.m. with Thunderbug, Blue Crew, autographed prizes, and more. For more information, visit tampabaylightning.com/2025playoffs. It's 1-1 at the end of 20 minutes. Back after this on Lightning Radio.
Download the official Tampa Bay Lightning mobile app, presented by Spectrum, to stay informed on the Bolts all season long. You get breaking news, stats, exclusive content, contests, and more. Visit tampabaylightning.com/mobile app for more information. Be the Thunder.
At Advent Health, we know there's a million different things you love to do. So, in a word, what's your go-to?
Run!
Hike.
Kick! Jump!
Skate.
Hit! Catch!
Ride.
Dunk!
Whatever you're into, our nationally recognized orthopedic experts are here to help you get back to feeling whole. Make your appointment today at FloridaOrthoExperts.com. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Steel deals are happening now. From instant savings on select tools to free battery offers on some of our most popular battery tool sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Shop online or in store at your local Steel dealer. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
The Block Party Podcast, presented by High Ally IPA. New episodes released every Wednesday in your favorite podcast app.
Glad you're with us as our first intermission report continues. We've got a 1-1 game at the end of 20 minutes. Before we do get to Ben Pierce, I do believe E is standing by with assistant coach of the Lightning, Jeff Blashill. Let's go to that interview for a bit on Lightning Radio.
Thanks, Rick. We are here with Jeff Blashill. And Jeff, Florida's such an aggressive forechecking team. How do you make the right reads to get out of your zone quickly?
We just got to make harder plays. It's they're going to come at you hard. I thought obviously first period in their building, we're going to face that kind of pressure. We can handle the pressure better than we did, but that's also I think we did a good job as the period went along. I thought we got better there.
How much does the goal by Gensel just settle your game down a little bit?
Yeah, it's a big thing. Momentum's a huge part of the game, and they gained momentum with their first goal, so hopefully we can grab it back with that goal.
Jeff, thanks. Good luck.
Great, thank you.
All right, that's Jeff Blashill from the locker room. Back to you, Greg.
All right, boys, appreciate that. That interview was presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ben Pierce, our Lightning reporter, is with us right now. Then you get the sense that goal calmed things down for the Lightning. You were right there, Johnny, on the spot, seeing everything.
Absolutely. I think it for sure did. You look at what this team kind of went through that first period. They give up the early goal against after a failed zone clearance, and Florida had them hemmed in their own zone for quite a bit there that period. And I think just getting that goal, kind of cracking the seal a little bit on Bobrovsky, who's been so good this series, that could be a big thing. And confidence, I know Blash used the word momentum, but confidence for this Lightning group that, hey, we got one, you never know. I mean, geez, you look at the Glendening clearance on the PK there, almost snuck through the legs of Bobrovsky. So sometimes all it takes is one, and things can flip pretty quickly. So hopefully we see that here in a second.
What's the crowd been like down there?
I will say the intro is pretty crazy. They got towels with lights on them. That's a new one for me. I don't know if I've seen lights and I've seen towels, but I don't know if I've ever seen the towel light. But you can tell they're motivated. This is a team that after winning the Cup last year, the fans here really bought in, and they've been loud here tonight. I don't think they've got anything on the Amalie faithful, but you can definitely tell it's a home game for the Panthers.
All right, second period coming up. Gensel's goal was big. Panthers, I think, still got to their game more in that first period than Tampa Bay. What do they need to do here in the second to generate a little bit more offense and make the Panthers uncomfortable? Still have to work on the PK to start the second period, right?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for the Lightning is, I know the focus obviously is getting more shots on net, but that really does start in their own end. I think some cleaner breakouts would go a long way with that, and a couple of those, even the one goal against kind of started with a broken clearance play, and if the puck's going to get out, it's got to get out, and if not, I'd like to see a little bit more tape-to-tape in the breakout, and then all of a sudden you're coming down the ice with speed. This Lightning team has been so good this year when they enter the zone with speed, so just finding ways to get some chances, get some rush opportunities, and you never know. We saw that's how they got their one goal in the first, and hopefully we can see some more of that in the second period.
Ben, we appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Ben Pierce joining us right there. Still walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Still, let's go mow. All right, Dave Michigan has the second period call when we return. Back after this on Lightning Radio.
At Advent Health, we know there's a million different things you love to do. So, in a word, what's your go-to?
Run!
Hike.
Kick! Jump!
Skate.
Hit! Catch!
Ride.
Dunk!
Whatever you're into, our nationally recognized orthopedic experts are here to help you get back to feeling whole. Make your appointment today at FloridaOrthoExperts.com. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Lightning fans, it's time to save big on Bubble Days at Bubble Down Car Wash. Wear your Tampa Bay Lightning gear Monday through Friday and get your car washed for just $5 all season long. Support your favorite team and keep your ride shining with this amazing deal. Clean cars, big savings, and unbelievable service. That's what makes us the bestest car wash in town. Get the cleanest car in town every time you bubble down. Bubble Down Car Wash, a proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Rebound shot. Score! On the far boards! Nick Paul!
The second period of today's Lightning Stanley Cup playoff game is presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here's Dave Mishkin.
1-1 Lightning and Panthers after one. I mentioned this when we were into the closing stages of the first period. This is the first time the Panthers have not taken a lead into an intermission in the series. Of course, the Lightning start the second period on the penalty kill for 44 seconds, so they're going to have to work to keep this at a 1-1 game. Vasilevsky now in the net to my right, Bobrovsky in the goal to my left. Mosaic has teamed up with the Lightning to check hunger in our community. For every goal scored by a Lightning player at home, Mosaic will donate $1,000 to end food insecurity and $1,500 for every home hat trick to local food bank partners. Thank you, Mosaic, for helping in the fight against hunger. When the Lightning win, you get 50% off your favorite pizzas from Papa John's the next day. Just use promo code BOATSW when you order online or on the app. Papa John's is the official pizza partner of the Lightning. Kucherov and Tkachuk having a conversation with Wes McCauley. Kucherov returns to the penalty box. The Lightning were on the wrong end of a lot of the stats in the first period, except the one that counts the most, goals. Got outshot 12-5. Panthers had way more scoring chances than the Lightning. But Vasilevsky came up with some key saves, and it's 1-1 heading into the second. Barkov and Cirelli from center ice. Won by Cirelli. Chernak slides to his own zone, McDonough. He'll pump it down the near wing the length of the ice. Panthers have 34 seconds left in their power play. Jones will wind up behind the Florida net. Seth Jones angles towards center ice, drop past Barkov. He'll carry up the left wing to the red line, launch this in. McDonough jabs it behind his own net for Chernak. Back from McDonough, little outlet. Cirelli out 2-on-2 shorthand with Gensel. Cirelli dogged from behind by Samoskevich, feeds Gensel on the right wing. And Gensel touched it across the blue line with Cirelli ahead of the play. So we'll get a neutral zone face-off. 12 seconds left in the Kucherov minor. It's been a good kill for the Lightning so far. No shots thus far for the Panthers on the power play. Ben was talking about that clear Glendening had back in the first period on the front side of this penalty kill. Bobrovsky came out to play to just skip right past his stick. It would have gone in the net had it been on net. Glendening wins this face-off. It comes in on Vasilevsky. He'll leave it for Chernak. 6 on the penalty. Chernak walks it up the middle. A final clear down the middle of the ice. In on Bobrovsky, who gloves this and is going to be forced to take a whistle because Gensel was down there. The penalty is up, so the Panthers cannot change players here. Florida 0 for 1 in the game in the power play. 3 for 7 in the series. Anticipating that the power play was nearing its end, Maurice kind of got a conventional line out there. So he's got 2 deep. Point wins the draw from Bennett. At the right point, Radish steps right circle. Shoots, Bobrovsky. Deep in his crease. He holds on. The Panthers can now get a change if they want. Chatter between Jones and Gensel. They separate. Good shot from Darren Radish on net. Good save by Bobrovsky. Opening minute in the second, 1-1 the score. Now the Panthers are allowed a very late change. The Barkov line comes out. Point and Barkov to the left of Bobrovsky. Point wins another. Radish again to the right circle. Shoots over the net. Puck to Hedman, left point. Center point, Kucherov. Kucherov, center point to Hedman. Hedman shoots. That was deflected, I think, off the blocker of Bobrovsky. Makes the save. Kucherov at the right circle, checked. Kicks to Hedman, right point. Banks it behind the net. It came off the end wall, and Bobrovsky is able to see it and freeze it. So the Lightning won a couple of faceoffs here in the offensive zone, keeping up the pressure. We're early in the second. The score tied at 1. Lightning make a change. Glendening, Girgensons, and Chaffee come over the boards. Well, Chaffee had a pretty noticeable first period. Had a huge hit on Kulikov. Anton Lundell and Glendening to the left of Bobrovsky. Won by Luke Glendening. Now Nick Perbix steps to the right circle. Perbix angles to the right corner. Luostarinen defends. Perbix looks to maneuver for Glendening behind the net. Glendening in a puck battle. Luostarinen trying to get it for the Panthers. Instead, it's grabbed by Chaffee. He'll slip it right point, Nick Perbix. Right circle, Chaffee. Checked by Schmidt. Up the far boards, Luostarinen. Couldn't force it past Perbix. Lightning looking to maintain possession. Girgensons grabs it in the right corner. Girgensons knuckleballs it to the right point. Perbix holds it in. He'll rim it behind the net. It's going to come around to the near boards. Moser keeps it alive. Girgensons left point. A pass blocked by Marchand. He'll turn it out to center ice Lundell. Lundell at the red line. Fires in to the Lightning end. Marchand is after it left circle. Marchand squeezes free left corner. A centering feed knocked away by Vasilevsky, but it comes to Jones right point. Left point, Nico Mikkola. A pass blocked by Girgensons, and Mitchell Chaffee collects the puck. If Lightning hurry, maybe they have numbers here up the middle. It's Perbix. Now they're going for a change. Perbix dumps it in. 1-1 our score in the second. Evan Rodriguez outlets to Sam Bennett at center. Bennett deals it across the blind. Mikkola to the left circle. A shot blocked. Rebound is picked up by Gage Gonsalves at the middle. Sorelli did get it out of the zone. Mikkola almost took it away from him. It came out of the zone. Mikkola will crank it back in. Radish by the Lightning net. Right side feed Geekie to center. Connor Geekie on the right wing, cross the blue line. Makes a move, center point. Left circle, Lilleberg open. Lilleberg behind the net. Put it in front. Geekie had to go through his skates. Looked like Lilleberg might have had a chance for a wraparound there. Bobrovsky was way out of the net, but he couldn't quite finish it. It turned into a centering feed, and Geekie had to go through his skates. Back at center ice, Radish dumps it in. Rodriguez trying to clear. Held in Kucherov left circle. Touches it cross ice. Chernak after it, right circle. Chernak tied up by Reinhart. Puck behind the Panthers net. It's played up the near boards by Bennett to Rodriguez. He clears. 1-1 our score in the second. Braden Point back in the Lightning end. Been the best stretch of hockey the Lightning maybe have had in the entire series. Point up the middle at center. Across the blue line. High slot, Gensel open. Gensel walks at left circle. Shoots, blocked. Maybe held on to it too long. Rebound is going to be held in Perbix, center point. Delivers it to the far corner. Forsling there to launch it out. Comes into the Lightning end for Perbix. Perbix needs a clear here. He'll provide it. The center ice, Nick Paul kicks this in. Over 3.5 played in the second, 1-1 the score. Aaron Ekblad of Florida bangs it out around the near boards. It goes down the ice, no icing. Vasilevsky taps it to the far corner, and Hedman, he's checked by Marchand. It's stolen Verhaeghe, a centering feed taken away by Yanni Gourde. Gourde is under pressure, though. Lundell a steal. Anton Lundell right circle. Centers it, misses everyone, and comes back to the neutral zone. Nate Schmidt collects. Up the middle, Marchand. Makes a little move on Nick Paul and cranks this in. Vasilevsky plays it around the near boards. Hedman needs a clear here. The left side, Paul got it out. Schmidt in his own zone. Feeds it up the middle for Lundell. That looked offside, it was. Pass to Marchand, Lois Arena ahead of the play. More shoves after the whistle. We've had so much of this in the series. Hedman and Marchand involved. 15:46 left in the second. 1-1 the score. To this point, the Lightning have the only 3 shots on goal in the period. Got a face-off out in the neutral zone. When they said it was maybe the best stretch the Lightning have had in the series, that might be an exaggeration, but so far in the second, the Lightning have been able to play basically from the red line in. They've just not had a lot of that in the series. Sturm and Sorelli from neutral ice. Won by Sorelli. Emil Lilleberg collects the puck by the Lightning net, rims it out around the far boards. Gonsalves touches it to the Panthers line. Seth Jones feeds it up the middle. It's going to deflect to Sturm into the Lightning zone. Nico Sturm left circle. Shoots. That got deflected over the net and out of play. That was another one that was very close to being offside. The officials decided to let play continue. I was chatting with the FanDuel broadcasters, Brian Engblom. I asked him during the intermission if the puck on the Tkachuk goal came out of the zone. He said, yes, we saw it came out of the zone. I guess they said it just hit Paul, and they said it was unaffected by Mikkola, which is why it was ruled to be onside. D-zone face and win Glendening. Lilleberg comes up with the puck. Left side feed Gage Gonsalves. It's center ice. Jams it forward. Glendening after left circle. Luke Glendening spins for Sorelli. Right circle, trying to drop it from Moser. It got taken away first by Sturm. He'll clear. Moser back in his own end. Delivers for Lilleberg in the left wing. 1-1 our score in the second. Emil Lilleberg up the left wing. Launches this in. Puck is going to be played by Mikkola behind the net. He'll be chased by Gage Gonsalves, but he chops it away for Jones. Right wing Reinhart to center. And now Barkov across the blind. Verhaeghe left circle. Carter Verhaeghe drives to the left corner. Verhaeghe is checked by Point, who's got the puck. Verhaeghe turns it by the Lightning net. Hedman there. Hedman's got Barkov in his tail. Reverses it nicely for Radish. Radish has time to feed out to center ice Gage Gonsalves. He knuckleballs it in, but Point ahead of the playoff side. 14:39 left in the second period. 1-1 the score. Goal scorers today, Tkachuk and Gensel. Braden Point will stay out and take this face-off, or maybe it'll be Gensel on his strong side. Neutral zone face-off. Point will take it against Lundell. Won by Florida. Here's Aaron Ekblad behind the Panthers net. A pass deflected by Gensel. Can the Lightning hold it in? No. Comes out to Marchand at center. Marchand on the right wing. Cross the blue line, right circle. Marchand centers it. Tipped by Luostarinen and save Vasilevsky. Lightning got caught on the rush against right there. Gensel now to Point at center ice. Back for Gensel across the blue line, right circle. Cross ice McDonough left circle. Center point Chernak. Rips a shot wide right. Rebound bouncing around to the side of the net, and I think Bobrovsky finds it and freezes it. Somehow Kucherov was the one guy back, the last guy back for the Lightning on that Luostarinen redirection. Good save by Vasilevsky. That's the first Florida shot in the period. Lightning looked like they had maybe something going there when they countered, but the Chernak shot was very wide of the net. Face-off coming to the left of Bobrovsky. Lightning just haven't been in this situation very much in the series. Tied. They've been chasing. And in this tie situation, I give them a slight edge, at least at this point in period 2. Bennett and Paul to the left of Bobrovsky. Won by Florida. Schmidt behind the net. Here's checked by Chafee. Gets help, does Nate Schmidt from Kulikov. Feed up the far boards, Evan Rodriguez lines it to the red line. Paul knocks it down and launches this back in. Kulikov and Gord battle. Gord wins at left corner. A centering feed skips through. Rodriguez trying to clear it. Paul gets in on him. Lightning looking to hold the puck in. Chafee provides help right circle. Slides it behind the net. Kulikov banged by Paul. Paul looks to maneuver it for Perbix. Rodriguez blocks it. Puck comes free to Tkachuk. Up to little Nate Schmidt. Schmidt to center ice. Rips it in. Hard around Perbix. Feeds to Lilleberg behind the net. Now Gord under pressure from Bennett. Gord is stripped by Jesper Boquist. Panthers make the steal. Boquist, the point Mikkola. A shot blocked by Perbix. He'll clear it. Boquist retrieves in his own zone. Lightning trying to get a change completed. Boquist to Seth Jones. Fires it in and off the carom. Vasilevsky covers. I think we are going to have the TV timeout here. If Jones was at the red line. 13-12 left in the second. I thought the rule was if the player is at the red line and he dumps it in, it's not like an icing. But often they're saying it is like an icing. I thought the rule was on the other side of the red line. That's when they don't have the whistle, and in this case the TV timeout, but now they do call for the TV timeout. 1-1 our score in the second on Lightning Radio.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Looking to save? With an online energy audit from Tampa Electric, you have the power to manage energy use in your home and identify ways to save on your electric bill. After answering a few online questions, you'll receive personalized energy saving tips tailored for your home. We'll also share ways you can save on your next month's bill, from adjusting your thermostat or upgrading to energy-efficient appliances, which can earn you rebates. Because when you better understand your energy use, the power is in your hands. Start your free online energy audit now at tampaelectric.com/energy audit.
Amalie Motor Oil tips its hat to the manly man.
Manly man.
You one time wrestled a bear for $50.
Manly man.
You always order the lumberjack breakfast.
Manly man.
And you know that nothing protects your engine better than Amalie Elixir Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Family owned and Tampa Bay grown.
AMALIE. Better than it has to be. Amalie.
A proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
The Block Party Podcast, presented by Highlight IPA. New episodes released every Wednesday in your favorite podcast app.
It's a 1-1 game in Game 3, 13-12 left in the second period. Face-off in the Tampa Bay end to the left of Vasilevsky. Anthony Cirelli and Evan Rodriguez will take the draw. Unofficially, shots in the second period. 4-1 Lightning. The one Florida shot, though, was a dangerous redirection from Luostarinen. Puck not dropped. Won by Rodriguez. Jones right circle. Shoots! And that went over the net. Did Vasilevsky get a piece of that? He kind of froze when the puck went past him. He may have deflected it. It went out of play. Dangerous looking shot from Jones. Yeah, that was a shot on net. Jones looking to sneak it under the bar. Cirelli and Rodriguez again to the left of Vasilevsky. Both guys tossed. So Bennett and Paul will take it. Hedman having words with Tkachuk. Tkachuk just grabbed Hedman's stick. I mean, they just let him get away with all of that funny stuff. I mean, it's nothing is, well, sometimes it's flagrant, but often it isn't. He's constantly stirring the pot. Bennett and Paul to the left of Vasilevsky. Won by Nick Paul. Puck played by Cirelli in the near corner around the far boards. Nobody was home for the Lightning. Moser follows up. Moser a pass block. Matthew Tkachuk a steal. In the left corner, cross ice Seth Jones, right circle. Jones checked by Cirelli. Puck battle. Who's got it? Jones taps it to the far corner. Gage Gonsalves pivots with it. Deals it up the middle off Hedman's stick. It's held in. Tkachuk left circle. Centers it off a skate. Lighting got way too cute there. But now Gonsalves on a counter. 3-on-2 on the right wing. Cross the blind right circle. In front Hedman. Left circle Paul. Off his skate. Lighting past their way out of a rush chance. Paul right point Cirelli. Right circle Gonsalves. Touches to Nick Paul right circle. Paul pivoting on Seth Jones. Paul is stripped. The puck high in the air off the stick of Bennett. Who's got it? Seth Jones does. And Jones will jam it out of the zone. Rodriguez picks it up. 1-on-1 against J.J. Moser. Rodriguez waits for help at the left point. Touches for Bennett left corner. Pass by the Lightning net. Stolen by Cirelli around the near boards. Is it out? No. Held in for Hagee right point. They'll wind it by the Lightning net. Hedman has to chase to the far corner. He's had a long shift. Reverses it for Cirelli, who's also had a long shift. Can he get it out? No. Held in Ekblad right point. He'll go cross ice. Reinhart Lightning in trouble on the shift. Reinhart takes a left point shot. Block. Rebound back for Reinhart. High slot. Reinhart right circle. Ekblad open. Save Vasilevsky. And then Ekblad is shoved into the net, and the Lightning are going to get a penalty. They did not execute. Probably the first time the entire period they didn't execute coming out of the defensive zone. I mean, the first time they almost didn't execute by getting too cute. Twice Ekblad has had grade A chances. Yeah, Cirelli gave him a cross-check after the whistle, and McCauley caught him and called him on it. So the Lightning are going to be out one of their top penalty killers for this slide insurance penalty kill at 8:13 of the second. They didn't simplify. They kept trying to rim it, and, I mean, they were rimming it to tired guys. So a big moment in the second period with the score tied at 1. Second power play chance in the game for the Panthers. Glendening wins the draw from Barkov. McDonough kills a little time and then sweeps it down the near side of the length of the ice. So the Lightning have to get through this kill without Cirelli. There's just Jones behind the Panthers net. Seth Jones on the left wing. Drops it for Barkov. Power play Panthers just underway. Right wing Reinhart launches this in. Hard around comes to Matthew Tkachuk, left circle. Tkachuk, right circle Samoskevich. Right circle Barkov. Open. Centers it. It skipped through. Tkachuk's stick was tied up by Chernak. May have saved a goal. Samoskevich bumps it behind the net. It came off that end wall in front. Vasilevsky's able to freeze it. A much needed whistle, or at least a welcome whistle for the Lightning. 1:27 left in the penalty. 11:14 remaining in the second. 1-1 the score. So without Cirelli, Paul comes out to join Gensel. Barkov and Paul on the draw, won by Barkov. Tkachuk collects left point. Left corner, Samoskevich. A pass stolen by Chernak. Chernak's stick was tied up. Gensel follows up. Can he clear it? Yes. Just past the stick of Tkachuk. Down the middle of the ice in on Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky will stick handle behind his own net and lead for Jones. 1:09 left in the Panthers power play. 1-1 the score. Jones drop past Barkov, right wing Reinhart. He dumps it in. McDonough got a piece of the dump and slows the puck up. Chernak behind the net for McDonough. McDonough checked by Samoskevich. Does get it to Paul. The middle, Chernak back for Paul. Out shorthanded, maybe a 2-on-1. Paul on the left wing, cross the line, right circle, Gensel. Holds, shoots, he missed the net. Wide left. The puck is collected by Samoskevich at center ice. Samoskevich across the blue line, and Matthew Tkachuk left circle. Tkachuk, left corner, Samoskevich shoots, saved by Vasilevsky. Samoskevich wasn't really in the corner. He was at the goal line extended, close to Vasilevsky on his forehand, which as a righty was above the goal line. So a good save by Vasilevsky in a cover. 38 seconds left in the Cirelli minor. Lighting at a 2-on-1, and Gensel at the right circle took the shot, missed the net. Another key face-off here. Glendening will take it against Bennett. They lock sticks. Both guys allowed to stay in. Glendening wins it. Hedman has time behind his own net to fire it off the near boards. Down the ice it goes. Half a minute to go in the Panthers power play. Our score tied at 1 in the second. Nate Schmidt pedals out towards center ice. Draw past Bennett. Sam Bennett makes his way to the red line. Carries it across the blue line. He'll nudge it to Evan Rodriguez at the left circle. Left circle, Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe fumbles it, gets it back. Right point, Schmidt. Right circle to Marchand. Marchand shoots, saved by Vasilevsky. Rebound back to Brad Marchand, right circle. Right point, Schmidt. Right circle, Marchand. Marchand is checked by Glendening. Marchand gets away, trying to slip toward the slot. Glendening a steal. He taps it out of the zone. Out of the box is Cirelli, but Schmidt has it first. Left wing for Verhaeghe. Bangs it in. Lightning killed a penalty. Hedman chops it off a stick. Bennett's stick. It deflects out of play. We'll get a TV timeout and a face-up back in the Tampa Bay defensive zone when we come back. 1-1 our score in the second of Lightning Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's hockey night in Tampa. Introducing Ford F-Series, the official truck of your Tampa Bay Lightning. Lighting the lamp with the power of a mobile generator, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board. Converting on every power play, the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning. And the Enforcer Ford Super Duty. Ford F-Series, the official truck of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
At PNC Bank, the official retail bank of the Tampa Bay Lightning, we've always taken a boring approach to handling your money. Not only is it smart, it's reliable. And why would we ever want to be unreliable with anyone's money? Some of those customers could be big, tough hockey players who'd gladly give up their teeth for a win. Oh, that's going to hurt. But really, we just think boring is the smartest way to help ensure your money's there for exciting things in life. Like intentionally placing your body in front of a frozen rubber puck traveling at 100 miles per hour. PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
The Lightning are back on the ice, and this season you can be in the stands to experience it all live. Shop a wide variety of seats for every game from Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the NHL, and make sure you don't miss a single moment. And rest assured, if your plans change, Ticketmaster has you covered. You can securely sell your seats to other fans with just a few taps. Get your tickets now at TampaBayLightning.com.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
The Panthers had a little bit of momentum going into that power play. They had the chance from Ekblad, led to the power play. They had some zone time, but the Lightning get through the kill. Lightning also had the 2-on-1 shorthanded rush for Paul and Gensel, but Gensel missed the net. The important thing, though, for the Lightning, they successfully get through those 2 minutes, and the score remains tied at 1. Face-off coming to the left of Vasilevsky now. We'll see if the Lightning can start pushing back, spending less time in their own end. Nico Sturm and Cirelli on the draw. .50-50, controlled by Gage Gonsalves. He'll poke it out. It's alive for Cirelli at center ice. Cirelli goes to his own zone, Perbix. Perbix looks up ice. Perbix has a little room here to center ice. Falls down, but he does bounce it in. Seth Jones, a rolling puck, settles it down, curls behind his own net. The far corner in Mikkola. And we have a clearing attempt here. I think one of the Lightning players was cross-checked. It was Kucherov. who would come over the boards. The Panthers may be getting a penalty here. Furman South has his hand in the air. And then a scrum ensued after the takedown. The Lightning, I think, knocked down the clearing attempt, but there was a cross-check in there. To the back of Kucherov is the Samoskevich. He took a very bad penalty in game 2. Or is this an even upper? Let's see. Officials are conferring. Well, Kucherov was interfered with. I think that's what happened. It wasn't a cross-check.
Florida 25, 2 minutes for tripping.
Kucherov had grabbed the puck on the clearing attempt and was knocked to the ice. They called it tripping. So I guess he wasn't interfered with because he had just blocked the clearing attempt. So Tico power play number 2 in the game for the Lightning. That was not what I would call a bad penalty by Samoskevich. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. All right, see if the Lightning can win this faceoff to start the power play. Sorelli does feed Point in the left corner, left point Hedman. Nicely done. High slot Jake Gensel, right circle Kucherov. Right circle Gensel. Center point of Hedman. Shoot, save Bobrovsky with the glove and he holds on. Sorelli was screening, looking for a tip, but I don't think he touched it. So the Lightning were able to win that faceoff. Gensel from Sturm. And they got a shot off. 1:48 left in the man advantage. Sorelli touches that. It's going to be a very difficult save for Bobrovsky, but he missed it. This faceoff on the other side. So again, Sturm is going to take this time on his strong side against Point. 50-50, won by the Lightning. Hedman right point, left circle Gensel. Shoot, save Bobrovsky, and again, no rebound. Point was standing there, but no loose puck was to be had. So a third face-off for the Lightning on this power play. They've won the first 2. This comes to the other side. Paul Marie sends out Barkov and Reinhart. Look for Reinhart maybe to take this face-off on his strong side against Sorelli. 1-1 our score in the second, 1:43 left. They're going to have Barkov take it. 50-50. And it's going to come free to Braden Point, left circle. Point to the left corner. Point behind the net. Right corner Kucherov, a pass blocked. Forsling chops it out of the zone. Tried to force that. Hedman reverses it for Gensel. Back for Victor Hedman. With room up the middle. Across the Panthers line, pulls up left point. Left circle Sorelli, not a good play. He gave Sorelli the puck, and Sorelli had a guy right on him. He's going to turn it over. Barkov clears it. Hedman with 1:15 left in the power play. Up the middle, breakaway chance for Kucherov, but it hit his skate. Kucherov follows up and works it behind the net. Gage Gonsalves. Gonsalves maneuvers for Gensel, right circle Point. Touches to Hedman, center point. Left circle Kucherov, fumbles the puck. They'll keep it moving. Gensel, left corner. Cross ice Braden Point of the right point. Point, center point Hedman. Right circle Gonsalves, left circle Kucherov. Center point Hedman. Shoots. Tipped wide right. Rebound Lewis Arena. Try to clear it. Hedman blocks it. Did he hold it in? No, he did not. He chopped the puck. It hit Gensel up high. That was very close. Hedman's not happy about it. I'm not sure that puck completely left the zone. Most of it did, but you got to see white between the puck and the blue. I just missed the replay. My monitor here is behind me, which is a little bit annoying, frankly, because I got to look back in time to see the replay, but I just missed it. That hit Gensel the side of the neck. All right, so a neutral zone face-off. I don't think that ever left the zone. 46 seconds left in the penalty. Nick Paul wins the face-off. Darren Radish slides for Geekie. He'll crank it in. Ekblad blocks it in the near corner. Clearing attempt knocked down by Gage Gonsalves. Gonsalves after the puck left corner. Trying to dislodge it for Paul. Anton Lundell is there. Lundell tied up. Lightning hold it in. Well done right there by Chafee. Radish center point, right circle Geekie. Whiffs on a shot, but it comes to Paul, right corner Gonsalves. Right circle Geekie, center point Radish. Shoots over the net. Rebound Chafee, left circle. Feeds it behind that. It's going to come to Geekie, right circle. Not a good pass, stolen by Marchand. He'll turn it out Lundell to center. Lundell checked by Chafee. Quick regroup. Geekie, 8 in the power play. Now Nick Paul across the blue line in Gonsalves' right circle. A shot blocked. Rebound back for Gage Gonsalves' right circle. Right corner, Nick Paul. Penalty is up. Lightning 0 for 2 in the game in the power play. Paul stays with it. Right circle. Right point, Radish. Shoots wide right. Here's Geekie, right circle. Connor Geekie wheels at the right point. Left point to McDonough. McDonough shoots. That hit traffic in front. More pressure by the Lightning. Gonsalves left circle. Connects with Geekie. Left corner. Put it in front. Diving after the puck was Radish, and he put it over the net. McDonough unable to hold in the clearing attempt from Ekblad, comes out of the zone. Nick Paul, quick regroup, Gonsalves. Back for Paul, across the blue line, right circle, holds, shoot, score! Nick Paul! Nick Paul! The Lightning lead for the first time in the series, 2-1! Big game player Nick Paul, another playoff goal for him. Pass Bobrovsky on the glove side, off the inside of the post and in. That unit did good work at the end of the power play, and they kind of made a partial change, but Paul stayed out and got the return feed as it came out of the zone. Oh, that hit Bobrovsky's skate. I thought it went off the post. It went off his skate and in. So Paul gets his first in the playoffs, and the Lightning lead 2-1. Important shift after a goal here. Kucherov at center ice. Looks for point. Instead, it's grabbed by Verhaeghe. He'll golf this in. Reinhart after it, right circle. Cross-ice pass taken away by Chernak. Turns with it and feeds it out to center ice Kucherov. Couldn't slip it forward for point, but Gensel picks it up. Gensel across the blue line to the right circle, Kucherov. Right circle, point. Shoots, blocked. Point in the rebound, right corner. Point behind the net. He'll pivot to the left corner. Point back behind the goal. Right point, Chernak. Left point, Jake Gensel. Cross-ice feed, deflects. Down low, McDonough. Goes again, cross-ice, Gensel. Left circle, can he hold this in? No. Then it out to center ice, and Reinhart. Lightning in the middle of a change here. Reinhart across the blue line. Left circle, Bennett. Shoots wide left. Chernak by the Lightning net. Looks to maneuver for Moser. Moser tied up by Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe feeds it to the left circle. Quick shot taken right there by Nate Schmidt. Save Vasilevsky, no rebound. 5:44 left in the second. Bennett shoving with Chernak. 2-1 Lightning. We have a TV timeout pending. They haven't put the red light on just yet. Now they have. 2-1 Lightning in the second on Lightning Radio.
This winter, take a staycation at Outback Steakhouse, starting at $14.99. Enjoy delicious Canberra chopped steak and a red wine glaze. Savor a flavorful bloomin' French onion sirloin, or sink your teeth into a sizzling 18-ounce bone-in ribeye with signature spices. It's better than a staycation at home.
Dad, I thought we were taking a steakcation, not a staycation!
Your steakcation starts at $14.99 for a limited time. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Lightning fans, just like your favorite team on the ice, Jana King delivers a winning performance every time. From offices to arenas, we clean businesses across the Tampa area with precision. Need a power play in your cleaning routine? Jana King has you covered. Whether it's your office, restaurant, or retail space, we'll keep it spotless, just like Amalie Arena. Visit janaking.com to customize your cleaning plan today. That's JANIKING.com. And let's go Lightning.
On this week's episode of the Bolts Block Party, powered by High Ally IPA, Wolfie and Kobe, and we caught up with the Lightning color analyst of our broadcast, Brian Engblom.
We talked about his run with the Habs, 3 Stanley Cups.
Great locker room stories as well.
And of course, his transition from NHL player to NHL broadcaster.
Taking pucks and sticks to the face while trying to run a broadcast.
Warrior.
Lots going on this week on the Bolts Block Party podcast. Download it wherever you guys get your favorite podcasts.
Lightning Power Lunch with Dave Mishkin and Greg Linnelli. Weekdays noon to 1. Watch on Facebook, YouTube, and X by following Bolts Radio.
Lightning lead 2-1. Paul the goal, Gonsalves and McDonough each pick up their second assists in the series. The Lightning countered through the neutral zone, set up a 2-on-1 for Paul and Gensel. Remember earlier, shorthanded, Paul gave it to Gensel, and Gensel missed. This time, Paul was on that right side of the ice with the lefty shot, better angle, and he snapped it off the skate of Bobrovsky and in to give the Lightning their first lead in the series. But then the Panthers had some looks right before the TV timeout. Vasilevsky made a save on Schmidt. Bennett and Glendening, won by Glendening. Hedman turns it around the near boards. Kulikov checks Gage Gonsalves. Where's the puck? Gonsalves back for Hedman. Needs a clear here. He turns it out. Glendening at center ice. Got bumped by Nate Schmidt. Kulikov has it back. Left wing Rodriguez bangs it in. Vasilevsky slides to the far corner and Moser check. Not well done by the Lightning. Schmidt behind the net. Rodriguez looks to center. Hedman knocks it away. Not out. Held in Schmidt. Left point shot blocked. Rebound Matthew Tkachuk. Right circle. Right point Kulikov. Shoots. That was blocked in front. Lightning have to execute better coming out of the defensive zone in the sequence. Gonsalves battling along the near boards. Checked by Rodriguez. Hedman follows up and does flip it out. Nicely done. 5 minutes left in the second. 2-1 Lightning. Nate Schmidt spins it on the left side. Across the blue line. Here's Barkov. Looks to center it. Backhand shot from Marchand. Save made by Vasilevsky. That was not Barkov. That was Lundell. My bad. But he made a great play. Hedman around the near boards. Nick Paul under pressure. Paul comes back behind the net. Barrels up the middle. Nicely done, Nick Paul. Ahead of steam up the middle at center. Across the blue line. He'll make his way to the left corner. Lightning get their change completed. Jones tries to check Paul. Paul stays strong in his skates. Maintains possession. Lines for Gord behind the net. Now to the right point, Perbix. Right circle, Yanni Gord. Back for Perbix, right circle. Right corner, Kucherov. A centering feed, missed Paul. Tough pass. Jones out to center ice. Here is puck played by Mikkel out of the offensive zone. A left circle shot goes wide left, and Yanni Gord has the rebound. Up the middle, Nick Paul to center. Paul across the blue line. Center point shot, snapped wide left. It was deflected. Puck grabbed by Ekblad. A feed up the middle, handled by Reinhardt. He'll roll it to center ice. Hedman knocks it down. Couldn't quite control it, though. Puck played by Luostarinen. Right circle, Reinhardt. To the right point, Ekblad. Shoot! Saved by Vasilevsky. Tipped by Barkov. Chafee rims it out. Forsling, quick counter. Reinhardt. Across the blue line, right circle. Centers it. It skips through. Panthers applying some pressure. Gord out to Chafee at center ice. Dumps this in. He was interfered with by Forsling, but he engaged him early enough they didn't call it. Puck is played up and out. Ekblad to center ice. Barkov. Here he comes again. Across the line, right circle, Reinhardt. Reinhardt centers it. That got blocked. That was dangerous. Jake Gensel leaves for point. They'll chip it out. Chafee still out there. Keeps it alive. Gensel at center ice. Cross ice point. Has room across the blue line. Braden Point cuts to the slot. He's triple teamed. Lightning are getting a change. And the puck is finally grabbed and flipped out of there by Forsling. 3:10 left in the period. 2-1 Lightning. McDonough delivers it in. Kucherov after the puck in the right corner. Right corner, Point. Braden Point. Right circle, Kucherov. Lightning looking to hold it in. Instead it comes to Verhaeghe. Loses McDonough. Center point. McDonough, a shot tipped in front. Save made by Bobrovsky, and he holds on. Sneaky little wrist shot there from McDonough. And Tkachuk is chasing Kucherov all over the ice again. He never does enough to get a penalty. I shouldn't say never, but I mean the sort of stuff that he does regularly probably isn't going to rise to the level of a penalty, but always after a whistle stirring the pot. Phil was mentioning that in the two games at Amalie. Kucherov's skating away from him, and Tkachuk is skating after him. Draw to the right of Bobrovsky. Cirelli wins it. Hedman to the left point. Left point Geekie back for Hedman. Left corner Cirelli, who won that draw from Sturm. Back at the right point, Radish. Bumps for Chafee right corner. Chafee's played well today. Mitchell Chafee keeps it moving. Cirelli right corner. Taps it behind the net. Geekie after it. Trying to keep it alive for Mitchell Chafee. Chafee looks to maneuver it to Geekie. Boquist to steal. Outlets to Samoskevich. From the red line, he'll rattle it in. Radish. Up the middle, Geekie has to get away from Sturm. Geekie will deliver it for Hedman. Up the middle, Radish. Safely out to center ice, 3-on-3. Radish backhands it in. Nicely done. Nate Schmidt gloves it down. A quick counter here. Lundell, or Tkachuk rather, across the blue line right circle. Tkachuk pulls up, waits for help. Tkachuk whiffs on a drop pass, but Jones follows up. Feeds it behind the net, Bennett. Sam Bennett turns at left point, Mikkola. Whiffs on a shot, but it comes right to Tkachuk. High slot, Rodriguez shoots, save by Vasilevsky. Lightning having bad puck luck right now on this shift. Here's Jones right circle. Turning it behind the net. It's going to come around to Mikkola left point. Under 2 to play in the period. Mikkola left circle, Tkachuk, left circle, Rodriguez. Shoots, save made, rebound, Bennett, save Vasilevsky, Bennett behind the net, wrap around, save Vasilevsky. Puck still loose, Mikkola center point, left circle, Rodriguez shoots, blocked. Rebound, Tkachuk right circle, shoots, save Vasilevsky, and he covers. And again, Tkachuk in the middle of all the extra activity after the whistle. Bennett there, too. I don't think we're going to get any penalties here. Vasilevsky standing tall to keep this game 2-1 Lightning. Lightning just didn't manage the puck during that sequence, and the Panthers almost tied it. Made 2 saves in a row. The rebound on Bennett, and then Bennett went behind the net for a wraparound. Vasi stopped that too, and then we have more. I was looking at the replay. I missed what was happening behind the net. The officials have lost control of this right now. And I can tell you who started this. Number 19 in red. And Geekie just slammed one of the Panthers to the ice. I mean, I really hope the Lightning are going to be shorthanded out of this sequence. It was Rodriguez that Geekie slammed to the ice. Now Rodriguez comes back at Geekie and tries to face wash him. It's really the first time we've seen any of this in Game 3. So at first, Wes McCauley was not going to call anything. But we are going to get penalties. Certainly a furious push by the Panthers. Hedman whiffed on a clearing attempt after the Bennett wraparound. And that led to one more attempt. We're going to have multiple players in the penalty boxes. Let's listen in.
Florida 17, Tampa 14, 2 minutes each for roughing. 19 Florida, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
Tkachuk gets the extra penalty. He got 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. Geekie and Rodriguez each got roughing by there, so the Lightning do get a power play out of this. The fans don't like the call, but Matthew Tkachuk has been looking to start stuff after every whistle. Who knows if he was given a warning earlier? I mentioned he was chasing Kucherov around the ice after a whistle back in the Florida end. So Tico power play number 3 in the game for the Lightning. They're 0 for 2. Comes at the 18:24 mark of the second. A goal here would be enormous. One by the Panthers. Forsling behind the net. Checked by Point. Can the Lightning retrieve it? Point dislodges it. Looks to make a pass to a teammate. Sturm got to it first. Couldn't clear. Held in Gensel. Left point. Nicely done by the Lightning. Right circle Kucherov. To Hedman. Right point. Shoot save made. Rebound Point. Whiffs on the shot. It's going to come free to Lvos Arena, and he'll rattle it out. Hedman a regroup. Up the middle, Cirelli back for Hedman. 1:12 left in the period. Right wing Point off his stick. Tough pass. Point gets it back. And deals for Hedman. Now Kucherov up the middle for Point. Across the blue line, Gensel. Jake Gensel left circle. Slips to left point, Hedman. Right circle, Kucherov. Shoot! Save Bobrovsky. And he holds on. 57.1 seconds left in the period. 1:21 left in the Lightning power play. 2-1 they lead. Shots are 25-15 Florida. The Panthers had a bunch during that sequence with Rodriguez, Bennett, and Tkachuk. Vasi stood tall. Now a face-up between Point and Barkov by the Panthers. Mikula cranks it around to the near boards, and Reinhart down the ice it goes. Darren Radish is out to quarterback the power play. He's got 45 seconds left in the period. Darren Radish, drop past Point. Point glides to the red line. Feeds Cirelli across the blue line, back for Braden. Point left circle. Point, left point Cirelli. Center point to Radish. Right circle Gensel. Right corner Kucherov. Kucherov at the right circle. Kucherov 26 in the period. Center point Radish. Left circle Cirelli. Center point Radish. Nothing to the net just yet. Right corner Kucherov. Right corner Gensel off his stick. Jones a steal. Bangs it around the near board. Cirelli blocks it. Holds in. Center point Radish. Shoots wide right. 12 in the period. Kucherov in the right corner. Kucherov looks to nudge it for Gensel. Mikula steal. Couldn't clear. Held in Radish. Right circle. He'll feed Gensel behind the net. 4 to go in the period. Right corner Kucherov. Look to set up Point in front. Good read. Barkov blocks it for Jones, and puck goes down the ice. And now Kucherov is being chased by Mikula. I didn't see what happened there. Reinhart comes at Kucherov too. I think we're going to get at least one penalty called here. I don't know what Kucherov did. to earn the ire of the Panthers. McCauley is pointing. Let's see what he decides to call.
71's got a minor for a rough. 71.
I couldn't tell what he called. We'll sort it out during the intermission. It is 2-1 Lightning after 40 minutes. I think the Lightning are the ones getting the penalty. 2-1 Lightning after 40. Greg has the second intermission report coming up on Lightning Radio.
Follow Lightning Radio on social media. We're at Bolts Radio on Facebook, Instagram, X, and now YouTube. Get the latest on our broadcasts and podcasts, Dave Mishkin highlights. Watch our shows live and more. Follow at Bolts Radio in your favorite social media app.
Hi, folks. Phil Esposito here, Hockey Hall of Famer. Well, who knew that I was going to go a little bit deaf? I lost my hearing a little bit. People kept telling me, what's wrong with you? You can't hear. So guess what? They were right. I went to Audibel. Audibel took care of me. It was incredible. Audibel, they are terrific. And by the way, Audibel's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Book your free hearing test now at floridahearing.com. Hear better, live better.
Cat named Mo saying it's time to spring into strength at Crunch Fitness. See what I did there? And now is the perfect time with $0 enrollment and membership starting at $9.99. Go to crunch.com where you can find out about the HIT classes, high-intensity interval training. They also have certified personal trainers. Mine is Jacob out of Carewood. Create the perfect program to help you reach your goal. With nearly 500 locations nationwide, you will have no trouble finding a convenient gym close by. Go to crunch.com for the location nearest you and get crunched. Offer ends 4/30.
The Bone Bonus is back. The Bone is giving you $1,000 5 times a day, every weekday. Listen to The Bone for your chance to win $1,000 at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2, and 5 p.m. every weekday. Want to make an omelet, but eggs are still way too expensive? The Bone has your back. Presented to you by Farah & Farah, Tampa's accident attorneys. FarahandFarah.com. 102.5 The Bone. Real, raw radio.
This is attorney Dominic Ferriello. You know me as Ask the Dom from 102.5 The Bone. I've been giving out legal advice in the Bay Area for over 15 years to those that call in and listen to the show. If you've been injured in an auto accident, my office handles auto accident claims, motorcycle claims, trucking claims, as well as wrongful death actions. Contact me, the attorney that you've listened to and heard of for so many years. Let my office help you with your case. Main number is 813-251-5550, or you can go online to askthedom.com. Offices right here in Tampa Bay.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we know most people don't love mattress shopping.
Hey, sports fans, thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Toronto Sports Insider during the Playoff Pulse. Our mission is simple, bringing sports fans together to hang out, cheer, and change the world one insider at a time, while supporting SickKids Hospital in Toronto every single game.
Cheers, insiders and sports fans from around the world. The Playoff Pulse campaign on Toronto Sports Insider is uniting fans worldwide through the thrill of NHL and NBA playoffs. Every game, every fan, every moment counts. The link is pinned in the chat and in the description. Check out our campaign page. Donate if you can, or share it with friends. Holy Mackinac! Every click helps sick kids heal the future. Just by being here, you have already made an impact. Now, chat it up, keep it classy, and let's keep changing the world one insider at a time.
Lead heading into the third period thanks to a Nick Paul goal coming down the right side off the skate of Bobrovsky into the net. His first of the playoffs at 13-17 from Gonsalves and McDonough. That was a big one. The Panthers out shooting Tampa Bay 26-16 through 2 periods, but the Lightning do have the lead. We'll have 4-on-4 action for 24 seconds to begin the third period. Then the Panthers will go on a power play. Anthony Cirelli at the end of that period got called for a minor penalty against Sam Reinhart. So that's where we are at the end of 40 minutes. It's been entertaining, it's been exciting, and more importantly, the Lightning have the lead, which is something they didn't have through the first 2 games. Bobby the Chief Taylor, Eric Erlinson with us right now. Chief, what did you make of that second period? Vasi coming up big, and so did Nick Paul.
Oh, big time. You know, and taking the shots from the top of the circle has been good for them. The Lightning, you know, I mean, Gensel had another chance at the top of the circle and skated to the side again and missed and made the save easier for Bobrovsky. It doesn't look that solid to me. I mean, both goals have gone through him. And, you know, it's just, and what's really frustrating, and you guys that are here in the room with me in the studio will tell you that, all this stuff, the extracurricular stuff that Florida's getting away with is incredible to me. That, you know, but Wes McCauley's calling, so figure it out.
And I agree with Chief there. I didn't think that goal Paul scored was of the maybe difficult variety. I mean, far be it for me to say it from where I'm sitting. I think that's one where you probably have to come up big and make that save. Nonetheless, the Lightning will take it. What did you make of that goal, and what did you make of the Lightning's second period in general?
Well, they spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. That's the good part, right? I think the regroups in the neutral zone were a big part of that, and that led to the goal for Nick Paul. It was a quick, get the puck at the red line, make a quick pass, and it eventually was really a 2-on-1 that kind of developed there, and good shot by Nick Paul just to get it on net. I mean, you never know that not everything has to be perfect off the post and in, right? I mean, that shot even looked like it was going wide a little bit, but finally getting some puck luck, if you want to call it that. Hits off the skate or off the pad of Bobrovsky and changes direction into the net. So obviously a huge goal. First lead of the series for Tampa Bay. Now we'll see if they can hold it. But, it is amazing, a little bit to Chief's point, that, Florida is sort of starting all of this post-whistle stuff. I mean, Cirelli got the penalty early in the period because he got elbowed in the head. So he retaliates and gets called for the penalty. Jake Gensel almost got called for another one on a retaliation against Brad Marchand. Same thing happened right there at the end of the second period. Cirelli got the only penalty out of it. It has to be frustrating, but, the Lightning have to kind of keep their cool and not allow that to happen, because it just kind of plays right into exactly what the Panthers want to do, and that's get inside your head.
Yeah, and Chief, to your point, that's really where officiating has to come in and cut that baloney out, don't they?
Exactly. I mean, you got a game going here. I know they let a lot of things go in the playoffs. You have to play a much more physical and rugged game in the playoffs, which the Lightning aren't used to. Florida plays that the whole year long, so it's nothing new to them. They can play that game. Lightning is new to them because they don't play a rough style of hockey. But that extra stuff after the whistle, for instance, there when Kachuk got an unsportsmanlike there, he cross-checked Hedman into the net. The Lightning got a penalty for that earlier in the game. So Cirelli, exactly. So what is it, there's that old saying, if it's sauce for the goose, it's sauce for the gander. What the heck? You call out one team and not the other? You figure it out.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Nobody
it's
really
crazy. It's just, it's beyond me. Watching this officiating, this league is absolutely terrible with their officiating.
And one that I don't understand in all of these calls, too, the one against Kucherov, that was knee-on-knee contact. It was to the side of Nikita Kucherov's knee. If you remember, back in December, when Nikita Kucherov got called 5 minutes for kneeing against Matthew Tkachuk, he got him on the inner thigh. He didn't actually get him on the knee. That one was more knee-on-knee contact, and that's such a dangerous play. And not only is it not called knee, it's not called tripping. You don't get the 5-minute major out of it, like certainly many of us up here in the press box thought was going to happen, and it ends up just being a 2-minute penalty for Florida.
That perfect example, right on the money. It was definitely, I called it kneeing right now, and they said trippy. Trippy?
Yeah.
He get him with his knee.
Yep.
Chief, what do we see here in the third period? What do you want to see the Lightning do here?
Well, Vashy's been holding him in there. They've got to be you can't keep backing off that. I know I sound like a broken record. I'm sorry about that, but that's the case. You got to make sure that the puck carrier has a much more difficult time to make a play, and you can't just keep backing off and allow Vashy come up with a big save. He's just been tremendous this afternoon. But, they've had a lot of chance to keep the puck inside the zone. I think their zone time in the second period was a lot better in the offensive zone. But let's take some shots. You don't pass the puck so often. Shoot the puck. because they're expecting you to pass. They're playing you to pass, and that's working very well for them to do that.
How about you, E?
Defend better. You have a lead. It's the first time you've had a lead so far through 3 games in this series. They've been pretty good during the regular season of protecting leads going into the third. You got to have the smart mentality here. Keep things very simplified. Don't get caught up in what Florida's trying to do to draw penalties. I mean, you're going to have about 1:36 to kill off, assuming there's no more penalties called in between that. And just defend better, spend some time in the offensive zone, make Florida work. Again, it's a simplification of the game, but the more time you spend down there, the less time you're going to put your goaltender under any pressure. And just don't give Florida any freebies. Don't beat yourself here.
All right, boys, appreciate you. Thank you. Talk to you in the postgame.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, Ian, Bobby, the Chief Taylor with us right there. The chase for the cup is on, and we've got you covered. Get the latest on tickets, watch parties, our legendary plaza celebrations, and all the incredible events that bring the Bolts Nation together. Visit TampaBayLightning.com/2025 playoffs for the latest info. Let's pause 10 seconds so stations can identify themselves on Lightning Radio.
The biggest plays on the ice.
Sees it up ahead, Panzeroni to the net, backhand score! What a move!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Gabby Shirley, Ben Pierce host the Into the Blue podcast every week. New episodes drop every Thursday morning in your favorite podcast app and on the Lightning Audio Network's YouTube channel. They break down what it's going to take for the Lightning to win this series. Search Into the Blue in your favorite podcast app and hit subscribe. All right, when we return, we'll talk to Ben Pierce. We'll get his thoughts on that second period. The Lightning lead 2-1 at the end of 40 on Lightning Radio.
You can listen to Dave Mishkin and Phil Esposito's radio call live in your seats at Amalie Arena. In the Lightning mobile app, select Listen Live from your seat and follow the directions. You'll never miss Mishkin screaming score or Espo yelling shoot the puck while you cheer on the Bolts from your seat.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's hockey night in Tampa. Introducing Ford F-Series, the official truck of your Tampa Bay Lightning. Lighting the lamp with the power of a mobile generator, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board. Converting on every power play, the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning. And the Enforcer Ford Super Duty. Ford F-Series, the official truck of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Steel deals are happening now. From instant savings on select tools to free battery offers on some of our most popular battery tool sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Shop online or in store at your local Steel dealer. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Follow the Lightning Audio Network on X. Search Bolts Radio and hit follow.
Glad you're with us. Greg Linnelli with you as our second intermission report continues. Don't forget, with Spectrum, you can make anything possible because you have a connection that's built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum. The Lightning lead 2-1 at the end of 40 minutes. Ben Pierce is with us on site. Ben, the Lightning able to get that goal from Nick Paul. That was a big moment in the game. We talked about one maybe Bobrovsky would like to have back, but so be it. I'd like to see them test him a little bit more.
We talked a little bit there in that first period, right, about the shot by Glendening on the PK, the clearance that got through him. He doesn't look comfortable tonight. And the biggest thing is when a goalie looks uncomfortable, everything's got to go to the net. The Lightning right now don't have that many shots on goal. Keep throwing pucks to the net. You just never know right now. Bob looks uncomfortable. He's had a couple of good saves to his credit, but it's those routine shots he's just not handling that well. So for sure, you got to get more pucks to the net, and I think particularly on the power play, you know, when the Lightning do get these power play chances, I'd like to see more pucks going that way.
No doubt. Tough penalty at the end there of the second period on Anthony Cirelli, right?
I have no idea how Anthony Cirelli is a lone penalty call in that, especially since it seems like all day they've been taking 1-1, but maybe they thought after the Tkachuk call there they owed Florida. I have no idea how that's a call on Cirelli. Regardless, you have to kill it. You know, they've talked so much about this special teams group where it's been all year. The power play still doesn't have one tonight, but now it's up to the penalty kill, and you're going to have to kill this penalty without Brandon Hagel, without Anthony Cirelli, two of those really big guys on the PK. So if they can get this one done, this could be a big momentum swing for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Gut check time. There's no doubt about it. Ben, we appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Ben Pierce joining us right there. Still walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Stihl dealer. Stihl, let's go mow. Gensel and Paul, your goal scorers for Tampa Bay. They lead 2-1 at the end of 40 minutes. Back after this on Lightning Radio.
Lightning fans, it's time to save big on Bubble Days at Bubble Down Car Wash. Wear your Tampa Bay Lightning gear Monday through Friday and get your car washed for just $5 all season long. Support your favorite team and keep your ride shining with this amazing deal. Clean cars, big savings, and unbelievable service. That's what makes us the bestest car wash in town. Get the cleanest car in town every time you bubble down. Bubble Down Car Wash, a proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Shoots, aim it, score! On the rebound, it's Yanni Gord!
The third period of today's Lightning Stanley Cup playoff game is presented by Advent Health. Feel whole. Here's Dave Mishkin.
2-1, the Lightning lead the Panthers heading into the third. Vasilevsky back in the net to my left. Bobrovsky in the goal to my right. Nick Paul, with his goal, donated another $150 to the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, thanks to Slide Insurance for generously matching each donation to support mental health in Tampa Bay. With Spectrum, you can make anything possible because you have a connection that's built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum. And wherever the road takes you today, Marathon is proud to fuel you and your co-pilot for every mile and every memory, because at Marathon, we are driven together. So because Cirelli got the lone penalty at the end of the period, the Lightning have a penalty kill pending. Slide Insurance penalty kill number 3. Period will start 4-on-4 for 24 seconds. Probably, if you are watching the game at home, you have a better sense of what is happening in some of these post-whistle scrums than me, because I mentioned this in the second period. The only monitor I have is actually behind me. So either I'm turning to try and catch the replay at the right time, and sometimes I'm missing it, or in the one instance when, and again, reading the reports, Tkachuk cross-checked Hedman into Vasilevsky. I missed that because I was trying to watch the replay for how the scrum started in the first place. But listening to the guys talk during the intermission, I mean, it does seem like the Panthers are initiating a lot of the post-whistle scrums, and there have been at least a couple of instances when the Lightning have been the only team getting the penalty, including the one right at the end of the period. All right, Nick Paul will take the face-off against Sam Bennett. We start 4-on-4 to begin the third. In 24 seconds, Tkachuk leaves the box, and the Panthers go on the power play. Paul wins the face-off. McDonough collects by the Lightning net. Holding on to it. Now in 15 seconds, Lightning go on the kill. McDonough for Kucherov up the middle at center. Across the Panthers line, left circle. A shot, wide left, rebound Kucherov behind the goal. Centers and Gensel! Score! Gensel! Brilliance from Kucherov! From behind the net, he chipped it on his backhand in front. Bobrovsky didn't know where the puck was. Gensel pops it in. His second goal tonight. The Lightning score before the penalty kill begins. Also, Bobrovsky didn't have his goalie stick. I'm not sure how he lost it. So the Lightning get a third goal. Now they have this penalty kill pending. Kucherov gets his second assist. McDonough gets his second assist. And Jake Guentzel gets his second goal and third in the series. So that is a 4-on-4 goal. Barkov and Paul at center ice. Big kill here for the Lightning. They're up 2. Paul wins the face of it. Is now a kill for the Lightning. McDonough in his own zone. Lifts it to center ice. Nice stick. Barkov takes it away. Counters into the Lightning end. Barkov to the right corner. Barkov behind the net. Turns to Tkachuk, left circle. Center point, Carter Verhaeghe. Right circle, Jones. Cross-ice feed, Tkachuk. Deflects. Tkachuk centers it. Loose in front. Reinhart looks to get it. A feed to the right circle shot. Save made. Right there at the side of the net on Barkov. McDonough cranks it down the far side of the length of the ice. Another big save by Vasilevsky. 1:07 left in the Panthers' power play. Jones motors up the left wing. Drop pass for Hagee. Actually leaves it for Barkov. Barkov rumbles to center ice. Tosses this in. Hedman trying to clear it. Held in Tkachuk, right circle. Tkachuk into the right corner. Tkachuk, right circle. Slips at center point. Jones touches to Verhaeghe, left circle. Carter Verhaeghe in the power play. Back for Seth Jones, left point. Left circle Verhaeghe looks to tee it up. A shot deflects wide right. Rebound comes right to Luke Glendening. Marching out with Gergensen shorthanded to center. Glendening content to just pump this in. Half a minute remaining in the Florida power play. 3-1 Lightning, early third. Seth Jones behind the Panthers net. Walks it up the middle. Left wing Lundell. Anton Lundell dumps it in. Vasilevsky punches it to the near corner. Lundell, a block. Rebound loose in front. It skipped over the stick of Bennett. Vasi almost got caught out of the net right there. Lundell, right circle. Feeds at left point Schmidt. Left circle Ekblad, left point Schmidt. Shoots, blocked, and we have a penalty coming up. Who's this on? In front of the net, I have no idea.
Evan Florida, minor trip.
It's on Luostarinen. 4 seconds remain in the Cirelli minor. So the Panthers are 0 for 3. And the Lightning have a Tico power play pending. This call on Luostarinen at 1:56. He knocked down Chernak. I was following the puck. That happened in front of the net. Well, the Lightning 0 for 3 tonight on the power play. This would be, like I said, when they had the one at the end of the second, an enormous spot for a goal. Sturm and Guentzel on the draw. One right to Boquist. Boquist out shorthanded. Here come the Panthers on the attack. Boquist on the right wing. Into the Lightning zone right circle. Feeds it behind the net. It's going to roll to Niko Mikkola. He'll cough it up to Kucherov. Lightning on the Tico power play. Kucherov gives to Hedman. A Braden Point by the Lightning net. 1:42 left in the man advantage. Point accelerates towards center ice on the right wing. Across the blue line, gives to Jake Guentzel, right circle. Drop pass, missed Hedman. And rolls back to the Lightning. And Lightning had a lot of problems in this series re-entering the zone. Now a lead feed, Hedman to Kucherov. He's onside across the blue line, right point. Fires a shot wide right, and it hit the glass. Or actually hit over the glass. It was deflected, went out of play. So the Lightning get a face-off here, a chance to get set up. 1:25 left in the Luostarinen minor. We're early in the third. Guentzel has scored 21 seconds into the third on a 4-on-4 to give the Lightning a 2-goal lead. Lundell and Point to the left of Bobrovsky. Won by Braden Point. Hedman center point. Right circle Kucherov. A pass deflects away from Point, and Lundell out to center ice shorthanded. Lundell across the blue line. Squeezes free. Lundell shoots. Save made Vasilevsky. Tough angle shot. There's Kucherov for Point. Braden Point gives to Hedman. 1:04 in the power play. Hedman up the left side. Kucherov bumps it backwards. Cirelli. Anthony Cirelli at the center right circle. Across the blend, Guentzel. Right circle, Cirelli under pressure. He'll maneuver to Hedman, right point. Hedman, a backhand centering feed, just blocked off by Ekblad. The Lightning are not moving the puck quickly or crisply right now on their power play. Hedman having to regroup in his own end. 42 in the advantage. Hedman drops it for Paul. Nick Paul to center ice. Paul dumps this in. Hard around is played by Mitchell Chafee, right circle. Right point Radish. Left circle Gonsalves. Shoots blocked. Rebound taken by Boquist. Down the ice it goes. Been a good kill for the Panthers. Score is 3-1 Lightning. 20 seconds left in the Tampa Bay power play. Radish winds up. Darren Radish. Drop pass. Nick Paul. Ball skates to center. Fires it in. Puck leaves behind the Panthers net. Puck battle. Ekblad looking to win it from Geekie. Instead, it's grabbed by Paul. Left corner Gonsalves. Left point Radish. Penalty almost up. Radish a shot. Save made. The rebound was loose. Forsling is there. Can he clear it? Yes. It's out of the zone. Chafee will maneuver it toward Gage Gonsalves. He'll chop it in. Lightning 0 for 4 in the game in the power play. Leading 3-1 with over 4 minutes gone in the third. Gustav Forsling in front of the Panthers net. Left wing Verhaeghe. Hurries for Ekblad on the right wing. Back for Carter Verhaeghe. Here comes Verhaeghe across the blue line. Rolls it to the right corner and chases. He'll lose Glendening behind the Lightning net. Hands off Chernak. Eric Chernak walks it to center ice. Up the middle. Here's Gord. Cross ice feed. Intercepted Seth Jones. Jones bumped by Gergensons, who nudges it in. Gord is after it. Can he get it away from Verhaeghe? No. Verhaeghe for Jones. To the near corner, Nate Schmidt. Left wing, Sam Bennett. Here comes Bennett out to center ice. Bennett zigzags into the Lightning zone. Lightning back in. Bennett is checked. And he'll lose the handle as Point chops it out. Nate Schmidt regroups in the Panther zone. Left side feed, Lobos-Storinen. Spins for Niko Mikkola. Mikkola one-arms it in, but Jake Gensel will flip it right back out. Puck for Kucherov at center ice. Kucherov trying to turn it for Point. It got intercepted by Lobos-Storinen. A counter for Kulikov. Kulikov to the red line, sends it in. 3-1 Lightning in the third. Nick Paul kicks it behind his own net for Moser. Shovels it around the near boards. It's out of the zone, Kucherov. Kucherov back in his own end. Delivers it up the middle. Paul gets to it across the blue line right circle. Nick Paul, backhand shot. Save made by Bobrovsky. Rebound behind the net. Lobos-Storinen bangs it out. Off the Lightning bench to collect the puck is Gage Gonsalves. He'll hit Perbix to the offensive zone right circle. Perbix looks to center it. It gets intercepted momentarily by Rodriguez. Paul has it back. A feed comes to Geekie. Connor Geekie right circle. Geekie touches it behind the net. Gage Gonsalves. Gonsalves snakes his way right circle. Drops it right point. Radish shoots. Hits traffic in front. Paul doesn't have his stick. Gonsalves stays with it though. Gage Gonsalves is stripped by Rodriguez, who gets checked by Geekie. Rodriguez gets the puck away. Forsling. Gustav Forsling to center ice. Penalty coming up on the Lightning. Is offside across the blue line. So the Panthers have a power play pending, and a Radish and Boquist jostle. TV timeout, 3-1 Lightning, but Panthers going on the man advantage when we come back on Lightning Radio.
At Advent Health, we know there's a million different things you love to do. So, in a word, what's your go-to?
Run!
Hike.
Kick! Jump!
Skate.
Hit! Catch!
Ride.
Dunk!
Whatever you're into, our nationally recognized orthopedic experts are here to help you get back to feeling whole. Make your appointment today at FloridaOrthoExperts.com. Advent Health. Feel whole.
The best way to celebrate a Bolts victory is with a Papa John's pizza. The day after the Bolts get the W, you get 50% off pizzas online at papajohns.com. Just go online or on the Papa John's mobile app and use promo code BOLTSW. That's promo code BOLTSW for 50% off regular menu price pizzas online the day after a Bolts victory. Papa John's Pizza, the official pizza partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Offer valid online for pizzas only at participating locations. Not valid with any other offers. Delivery fee and taxes extra and are not subject to discount offer.
To be a real winner is to make a difference in your community. Chief here for Mosaic. Mosaic has teamed up with the Tampa Bay Lightning to check hunger in our community with goals for food. For every home goal scored by a Lightning player, Mosaic will donate $1,000 to end food insecurity and $1,500 for every home hat trick. For more than a decade, Goals for Food has donated more than 12 million meals. Cheer on the Bolts as we support those in need. Learn more about Mosaic at mosaicco.com.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Lightning lead 3-1. We've just passed the first TV timeout of the third, but Nick Paul takes a penalty for holding in the offensive zone. I saw that he had lost his glove, but apparently he was the one guilty of the penalty. So slide insurance penalty kill number 4 in the game for the Lightning. Looking to maintain the 2-goal lead. Another key moment in this game. Luke Glendening, Alexander Barkov to the right of Vasilevsky. Puck not dropped. Won by Barkov. Seth Jones controls center point. Feeds at left corner. Reinhart fumbles the puck. It's bouncing around in front. Where is it? Grabbing it is Glendening. He gets checked, stays with it, and slings it down the ice. Great determination there from Luke Glendening. Panthers go right to left in the third. Power play just underway. Seth Jones in his own end. Watched a bit by Glendening. Turns for Reinhardt. Sam Reinhardt to the red line. Launches this in. Hard around is played by Verhaeghe, left corner by that Barkov. Trying to center it. And comes to Verhaeghe, left circle, left point Seth Jones. Left circle, Carter Verhaeghe. Left corner Reinhardt. Back for Verhaeghe, left circle. Left corner Reinhardt, left corner Verhaeghe. Back to Reinhardt, left corner in front. Barkov, a shot block. Rebound skips to Tkachuk, right circle. Center point Jones. Seth Jones wheels at the center point. Left point Verhaeghe. Center point Jones. Doesn't have a shooting lane. Slides for Matthew Tkachuk, top of the right circle. He's open. He shoots. Blocked. Rebound tracked by Reinhardt, left corner. Winds it by that Barkov. Gets checked, but Tkachuk follows up right circle. In front, Barkov! Save Vasilevsky! They set it up for him. Verhaeghe left point. Center point Jones. Lightning need to clear. Right circle Tkachuk. High slot Reinhardt. Center point Jones. Left circle Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe looks to shoot. Block. Puck stays in play though. Comes to Reinhardt. Right circle. Lightning penalty killer's tired. Behind that Matthew Tkachuk. Right circle Barkov. Center point Jones. Shoots. Blocked by Glendening. Barkov again right circle. He shot a wide left. Lightning can't get it out. Jones left circle Verhaeghe. Behind that Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk. Right circle Barkov. Center point Jones. Seth Jones holds. Shoots. Blocked in front. Rebound. Grabbed by Glendening. Down the ice it goes. Lightning get the much needed change. 15 seconds left in the power play. 3-1 Lightning in the third. Nate Schmidt pedals to center ice. Slides it in from beyond the red line. And icing is called. He was trying to hit Bennett, but the pass was offline. Well, that'll effectively kill off the rest of the Paul Minor. 12:02 left in the third. 6 seconds left in the infraction. The Panthers had the puck in the offensive zone for most of the 2 minutes. Big save Vasilevsky made on Barkov, who got loose below the hash marks. Cirelli and Rodriguez on the draw. Won by the Panthers. Ekblad holds onto it in front of his own out left wing Nate Schmidt. Penalty up. Both teams 0 for 4 in the game in the power play. Sam Bennett to center ice, dumps this in on Vasilevsky, knocks it away from Moser. Around the near boards, Marchand a left corner block. Cross ice Rodriguez, right circle. Right circle Bennett. A pass in front, Rodriguez blocked. The puck grabbed by Victor Hedman. Bus out to center ice. Hedman 4-on-3 up the middle across the blue line. Right circle Cirelli. Cross ice feed, Nick Paul grabs it, left circle, centers it. It's going to come to Hedman, right circle. Hedman looked to drop it to the point. Rodriguez blocks it. His outlet knocked down by Gage Gonsalves. Finally comes to center ice Bennett for Schmidt. Ready for a change, I believe here. He'll rattle it in. 11:18 left, 3-1 Lightning. Vasilevsky jams it around the far boards for Gonsalves. He gets checked. Good job, Lundell. Steals it, slides it in front. Vasilevsky covers it. So that work by Anton Lundell sets up the Panthers for an offensive zone faceoff. 11:10 left, and more shoving. Goodness gracious. After every whistle, it's a guy in a red jersey starting trouble. That time, Sam Iskevich. And he wasn't even close to Vasilevsky. All the little details of the game so crucial as we approach the halfway point of the third period. This is a big face-off between Paul and Lundell to Vasilevsky's left. Won by Nick Paul. Lilleberg clears. No icing. Bounces into the Panthers zone. Kulikov taps for Gustav Forsling. Left side feed Lundell. Directs it back in. Puck bounces by the Lightning net. Boquist tying up Lilleberg. Nick Paul grabs for Yanni Gord. Gord pivots behind the net. Dangerous play here. Wraps it around the near boards. Lundell's going to block this. Lightning didn't get it out. Anton Lundell left circle. A pass knocked down by Paul. Right wing Gonsalves. He'll jam it out. Forsling trying to dump it back in. Got it to Luostarinen. He'll chip it behind the Lightning net. Vasilevsky stops it. Feeds Perbix. The near boards Gonsalves. On his backhand, he scoops it out. Nicely done. Here's Reinhardt for the Panthers at his own blue line. Feet on the right side, Lundell. Cross-ice pass stolen by Gonsalves. Across the blue line, right circle. Gonsalves put it in front for a Gensel tip. Save made by Bobrovsky. Nico Mikkola looks to counter. Rolls it to the Lightning line. McDonough, a quick counter. Up the middle, here's Gensel. Across the blue line, Jake Gensel, right circle. Pulls up. Gensel drops it to the right point. Braden point. Holds it in. Looking for Gensel in front. He and Jones collide. They take each other out. Fans wanted to call on Gensel. They didn't call either player. Mikkola, in the meantime, to center ice. Fires it in. Puck picked up by Barkov, left corner, off his stick. Comes out of the zone, Gensel for Braden Point. Point gains the red line, bangs this in. 9:47 left, 3-1 the Lightning lead. Bobrovsky punches it out around the near boards himself. J.J. Moser collects in the neutral zone for Hedman. Up the middle, Geekie. Counter Geekie across the Florida line. Takes it right corner. Geekie slips it behind the Panthers net. Ekblad is there. To the near corner, Schmidt. He'll pitch it out. Moser gloves it down. Touching the next Gergensons. That is a hand pass. TV timeout. 9:28 left in the third. 3-1 Lightning on Lightning Radio.
Tampa Bay. Who celebrates your Tampa Bay Lightning with an official Bolts debit card? We do. That's right. Join GTE Financial and get a free Bolts debit card on us. More than just banking, GTE offers our members a full financial lineup. From lending to insurance and business services, we do everything with a personal touch. Bolt into every match with GTE Financial, the official credit union of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Visit our website and use promo code BOLTSCARD to get your free Bolts debit card today.
Amalie Motor Oil tips its hat to the manly man.
Manly man.
You had a beard before it was cool, like in 3rd grade.
Manly man.
You get up before the sun because it's lazy and weak.
Manly man.
And you know that nothing protects your engine better than Amalie Elixir Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Family owned and Tampa Bay grown.
AMALIE. Better than it has to be. Amalie.
A proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jack Daniels has always made whiskey. If they have it their way, they always will. There's one thing Jack can't make more of: moments. Those are on us to create. Make sure we're making the most of every moment. Make it count. Jack Daniels. Please drink responsibly. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Copyright 2024, Jack Daniels. All rights reserved.
Follow the Lightning Audio Network on YouTube. Search Lightning Audio and hit subscribe.
9:28 left in the third. It's going to feel like a long 9:28 for the Lightning. They have a 3-1 lead. Got to keep playing. Won by Barkov, but Gergensons forces a turnover for Chafee, who tosses this in behind the Panthers net. Kulikov hard off the near glass, and it went off the glass and off the mesh netting. So a face-off in the Panther zone to the left of Bobrovsky. Panthers scored first. Kachuk, 2:43 into the game, but the Lightning got a big goal from Gensel late first to tie the game at 1. Paul scores on the shift after a Lightning power play ends. 13-17 to the second. Then during a 4-on-4 to start the third, Gensel gets the goal to make it 3-1. Cirelli in the draw against Bennett to Bobrovsky's left. Won by Bennett. Niko Mikkola behind his own net. Winds it around the far boards for Kachuk. Trying to clear it. Stepping up. At the left point was McDonough to hold this in. Momentarily, Bennett has it back. Left wing, Marchand. Marchand for Bennett. Marchand out there with Bennett and Kachuk on the shift. Bennett to the red line, dumps it in. Chernak had it hit him. He didn't see it. Feeds it up the near boards. Held in Kulikov. Left point shot went wide left. Rebound, pinballs in front. Chernak there. The near board, Cirelli does clear. No icing. Nate Schmidt back in the Panther zone. Looks to catch the Lightning in a change up the left wing, Marchand. Into the Lightning end. Off circle Kachuk. Left point, Nate Schmidt. Nate Schmidt shoots over the net. Rebound tracked by Chafee. He'll tap it out. And then he maneuvers it forward past Jones to Yanni Gourde. He's by himself right now. He'll wheel behind the Panthers net. Gourde rolls it to Victor Hedman, right circle. Back for Gourde, right corner off his stick. 8:27 left. Sam Reinhart touches for Bennett. Bennett at the end of a shift, but here he comes to center. Bennett across the blue line. Looks to shoot. Lost the handle. It bounces in front. Knocking it away, but not out Hedman. Verhaeghe, right circle. Shoots wide right, and the rebound came off the end wall. Vasilevsky protects it with his goalie stick and covers. Now it's Verhaeghe and Moser exchanging shoves. 8:11 left. 3-1 Lightning. Another key defensive zone face-off upcoming for Tampa Bay. This one will be to Vasilevsky's left, so the Lightning send out Cirelli to take it. Is it going to be Reinhart? Yes. Reinhart does win it. Ekblad right point, shoots over the net. Rebound Nick Paul, maneuvers it out. There's Reinhart losing Paul. Up the middle, Cirelli. Guided it in, chopping it out. Is Forsling to Barkov. Right wing Verhaeghe slips this in. Barkov pursues it right corner. Cross ice Reinhart left circle. Reinhart a drop pass blocked by Nick Paul. Paul gets the puck. Taps it behind that McDonough. Needs a clear. Off the far boards, Gage Gonçalves. He'll spin it out, but he didn't get a lot on it. Barkov steals and counters across the blue line. Left circle to Reinhart. Reinhart a pass in front blocked, and the puck comes out of the zone. Nick Paul's a man up ice. Gensel 2-on-1 across the lane. Gensel back in front. Nick Paul holds, shoots off the goal post. Paul hit the post. Forsling clears. Nick Paul coming close right there. Point from center ice, dumps it back in. Gensel pursues it to the right corner with 7:20 left. He's checked by Mikkola. Reinhart comes up with it for Kulikov. Dmitry Kulikov, right side feed to Luostarinen, shovels this in. Perbix after it by the Lightning net. Zips it around the near boards. Kucherov deflects it out. It's going to slide into the Panthers zone. 7:04 left. 3-1 Lightning. Rodriguez, an errant feed at center ice stolen by Perbix. Content to dump this back in. Under 7 to play. Lightning lead 3-1. Kucherov checks Rodriguez, gets the puck away to Nate Schmidt. He'll bounce it out, Luostarinen. He'll maneuver this in. First to it is Perbix in the Lightning far corner, facing some forechecking pressure, couldn't clear. Eldon Sturm, right point Jones. Left circle Nate Schmidt. Shoots, blocked in front. Rebound Lilleberg behind the net. Touches for Perbix, needs a clear here on his backhand. Can he get it out? No, Eldon Jones. Nicely done Sturm, right point. Right corner Evan Rodriguez, that puck needed to get out. Right point Jones. Shoots, blocked in front. Rebound Gergensons. Gergensons holds on to it. He's under pressure from Schmidt. Gergensons behind the net, needs help. On the far boards, Lilleberg needs a clear here. Off the far boards, blocked. Still not out. It's battled for. Braden Point comes up with it. Point got hooked. He got the puck away, though, to Chafee. Chafee got run at. No penalties anywhere there. Point stick yanked out of his hands. Chafee, a cheap shot. He received no penalty. Boquist across the line. Samoskevich, left circle shot. Blocked. Lightning have to play on here. Boquist in the right corner. Loses Gord. Under 6 to play. Gord needs a clear. Gord. A feed comes to Moser and now Hedman. Hedman trying to clear, gets blocked, but Gonçalves out to center ice. Up the middle, onside Gord across the blue line, left circle in front. Glendening! Score! Luke Glendening! Finishes the 2-on-1 with Yanni Gord! 4-1 Lightning with 5:41 left. That was very close to being offside, but I think it was okay. Well, in the first 2 games, the Lightning might have had 1 odd man rush. They've had 2 tonight that they've scored on and a few others that they didn't convert on. But the Panthers were pressuring and pressing, and they got caught. So Glendening scores with 5:41 left. His first in the playoffs. And the Lightning up by 3. Point and Barkov at center ice. I mean, what the Panthers got away with during that last sequence, really incredible. McDonough dumps it down the ice. This is going to be an icing. He missed on an outlet. First, the puck rolled over his stick, and he's talking about it with the official right now, but Lightning are going to lose the argument. We'll see if Paul Maurice pulls Bobrovsky. Might be a little early for that, but they are down 3. Looks like 6 skaters out there, so yeah. Paul Maurice is pulling Bobrovsky as the Lightning ice the puck off the faceoff. The net is empty for Florida. 4-1 Lightning. Braden Point and Barkov on the draw. Won by Point. McDonough behind the net. Rims it around the far boards. It's out of the zone. Seth Jones traps it down at his own blue line. Up the middle, Verhaeghe launches this in. Vasilevsky stops it behind the net. Flips it up the middle. It does come out of the zone. Jones gloves it down, loses Kucherov. Kucherov to the red line. Just backhands it in. 5:15 left. Net empty for the Panthers. 4-1 Lightning. Carter Verhaeghe hands it off Barkov. A lot of clock left. Barkov to center ice. Got checked. Puck stolen by Gensel. Jams it forward across the line. Cirelli. Nobody in front of him. Score! And Gensel was run out of the neutral zone by Tkachuk. Well, I don't know that Tkachuk is going to have to serve a penalty because the Lightning scored the empty net goal to make it 5-1. The Lightning react on Tkachuk. Now the Panthers have an extra guy out there because Bobrovsky was on the bench. Gensel will get an assist on the Cirelli empty netter. Tkachuk is jostling with Cirelli. Lightning have scored 3 in the third. They just got the empty netter with 5 minutes left. Jake Gensel picks up his 3rd point today. I want to see a replay again. My replay accessibility in this booth is not the best. So every time I turn away from the ice, I feel like I missed something on the ice. Let's see what Tkachuk did. Oh, yeah, just a horrific. I mean, you talk about interference. You talk about hitting an unsuspecting player. That's exactly what Tkachuk did. What was it that Paul Maurice said? Our players don't hit players who have the puck. Guess what? Gensel didn't have the puck, and Tkachuk hit him. And he wasn't expecting it.
Florida assessed a 5-minute penalty on the play, which will now be reviewed.
Here we go again. So let's see if they turn about as fair play. Let's see if they hit Tkachuk with what they hit Hagel with. Now, frankly, I thought the Hagel hit was a little more ferocious, but the philosophy is the same. Gensel is not expecting to be hit, and he gets blindsided by Tkachuk.
After reviewing the play, the call on the ice is confirmed. Number 19, Florida, has a 5-minute major for interference.
Well, I guess the fans here don't like it when their guy is called for a major, for interference. Now, Gensel didn't go crashing into the boards, and he appears to be okay. And I am glad, and everybody is glad, that Barkov is okay and able to play. But Tkachuk knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that Gensel had gotten rid of the puck. He knew that Gensel was no longer in the play. He had a chance to line him up, and he nailed him when he wasn't expecting a hit. So let's see if Matthew Tkachuk gets supplemental discipline like Brandon Hagel did. Lightning are going to go on the major with 5 minutes left. So their 5th power play chance. Cirelli gets the empty netter at the 15-minute mark. By the way, Gonsalva's got the 2nd assist on the Glendening goal, so he has 2 assists in the game and 3 assists in the series. Just 1 assist to Gensel, who I think stole it from Barkov in the neutral zone. Tico power play number 5 in the game for the Lightning. Sunrise face of win Lewis Arena. We'll see if the Panthers decide to pull Bobrovsky. And now Mikkola is starting something with Cirelli. Wes McCauley is sending Mikkola off. He may be sending one of the Lightning players off as well. Well, I think it was Phil who said before game 2, thinking if the Lightning had been able to go up and win game 2, he predicted funny business from the Panthers when the game was out of reach. It didn't happen in game 2. Panthers won game 2, but it certainly has happened in game 3. I don't think they're going to give the Lightning a 5-on-3 out of this. I'm not sure who was sent off for the Lightning, though. Mikkola was sent to the dressing room. It might have been Cirelli. All right, so Point and Lewis Arena and Sunrise won by Braden Point. The major will continue for the Lightning. Hedman has the puck in the Lightning zone. Dishes to Kucherov. Kucherov, 2 big assists in this game. Kucherov to the red line. Swerves across the blue line to the left circle. Center point Hedman. Right circle Jake Gensel. Lines it behind the net. Nick Paul off his stick. Nico Sturm, a steal. They'll walk it out to center ice. Kill some clock here. And then just chip it in. Bobrovsky staying in the net. The Lightning are on a major power play for the rest of regulation. 4:24 left in the third. They lead 5-1. Victor Hedman, right wing Gensel. The center ice, Kucherov in the left wing. Rips it in. Hard around, comes to Jake Gensel, right circle. Gensel bumps it behind the net for Gonsalves. Trying to go back to Gensel in the right corner. Right corner Gonsalves. A drop pass stolen by Mackie Samoskevich. He walks it out shorthanded to center ice. Left wing Boquist. Into the Lightning zone. Jesper Boquist left circle. A centering feed. Bounces to Kucherov. Got it out. Gonsalves to center. Left wing Gensel. Across the blue line. High side Hedman open. Shoot save made by Bobrovsky. The Lightning are in a change situation here. Forsling on a counter 2-on-2. Left wing Samoskevich to the Lightning end. Samoskevich drives to the left circle and shoots as he tried to walk in front. Saved by Vasilevsky. Yanni Gourde on a counter, 3:38 left, 5-1 Lightning. Gourde left side feed Gonsalves across the blue line, left circle is checked. Nico Sturm a steal. Here come the Panthers up ice. Nico Sturm on the right wing, across the blue line, right circle. Shoot, save made. The rebound, Luostarinen had an open near side of the net, but it got knocked away from him by Chaffee. Geekie on a counter on the right wing, into the Lightning zone. Geekie, a drop pass comes out to center ice. 3:15 left, Lightning lead 5-1. There's Radish in front of the Lightning net. Drop pass Mitchell Chaffee. Left wing Geekie. A dump in goes out of play. Hit the mesh netting. We are due ball. Radish at the red line. Zips it in. Ekblad blocks into the far corner. He's checked by Luke Glendening. Under 3 to play. Puck grab by Anton Lundell. He'll scale it down the ice. Radish controls the puck behind the Lightning net. Darren Radish spins to Gergensons. Up the middle, Nick Paul. Paul from the red line launches this in. Puck in the heart around. Comes to Luke Glendening, right circle. He'll rim it to Radish, left point. 2:28 left. Right point, Moser. Touches it right circle, Glendening. Behind the net, Gergensons. Unit certainly not used to being out there on power play time. Rodriguez makes a steal into Gergensons. Drop pass, gives to Forsling. He'll crank it down the ice. 2:13 left. Lightning have a 5-1 lead in Game 3. Continuing on their major power play. Radish a drop past Nick Paul. Paul to center ice. Paul backhands it in. Seth Jones is on it in the near corner. The near board, Samoskevich not out. Holden Moser, right point, left point Radish, right point Moser shoots, blocked in front by Kulikov, and Moser broke his stick. Lightning down a stick here as Boquist carries into the Lightning end right circle. Touches it for Kulikov behind the net. He is checked by Chaffee. Chaffee trying to force a steal. Gonsalves gave his stick to Moser. Coming up with the puck is Chaffee. Chaffee's had a very strong game today. Chaffee out to center ice, letting the Lightning regroup. He peels back to his own zone. 90 seconds left. Mitchell Chaffee up the right wing. Across the blue line of the right circle. Muscles his way to the right corner. Feeds to Gonsalves, left circle. Drop pass stolen by Nico Sturm. Sturm busting back in the right wing. Lilleberg defends. Sturm across the blue line. Right circle, Ekblad. Ekblad centers it. Tipped just wide left. In front by Luostarinen. Gage Gonsalves winds for Perbix behind the net. No work for Lilleberg with 1:08 left. Lilleberg to Gonsalves at center and Geekie across the blue line. Geekie tied up. Into Luostarinen to steal. Short feed for Nico Sturm. Down the ice it goes. Under a minute to go. Lightning closing in on their biggest win of the year. They're going to make this series 2-1. We know now there will be a Game 5 on Wednesday. Gourde across the blue line. A pass for Gergensons to the left circle. He'll be stripped by Forsling, who drives it down the ice. 34 seconds left. Nick Perbix on the right wing. Got checked by Lundell. Perbix didn't like it. Lilleberg in the meantime for Glendening. He'll maneuver this in behind the Panthers net. Jones actually let Bobrovsky play it. Bobrovsky nudges it for Evan Rodriguez. 18 seconds left. A final clear perhaps down the near side. The length of the ice. Vasilevsky is just going to leave it behind his own net. 10 seconds left. Lilleberg is holding out of the puck. Gourde having words with some of the Panther players. Time ticks down. Perbix just slides it down the ice in on Sergei Bobrovsky. And this one is over. A huge win for the Lightning. They come to Sunrise. They take an early gut punch. They don't have Brandon Hagel. They kill 4 penalties. Jake Gensel, Nikita Kucherov, Nick Paul, Gage Gonsalves, the penalty killers, and Andrei Vasilevsky. Fingerprints all over this win. Lightning win Game 3 5-1. They're back in the series. It's 2-1 Florida. Coming back with our postgame next on Lightning Radio.
At USAA, we know the best way to serve our members is by building the best team. So we're looking for talented people like you to join us. From claims and finance to tech and beyond. But it's not just skill sets and impressive resumes we're looking for. It's the unique qualities that everyone at USAA shares and the passion to make a real difference for our members. Search USAAjobs.com and find out what we're made of.
USAA Equal Opportunity Employer.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Hours may vary by location.
Amalie Motor Oil tips its hat to the manly man.
Manly man.
You one time wrestled a bear for $50.
Manly man.
You always order the lumberjack breakfast.
Manly man.
And you know that nothing protects your engine better than Amalie Elixir Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Family owned and Tampa Bay grown.
AMALIE. Better than it has to be. Amalie.
A proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains April 25th through the 28th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Steel deals are happening now. From instant savings on select tools to free battery offers on some of our most popular battery tool sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Shop online or in store at your local Steel dealer. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
The Block Party Podcast, presented by High Ally IPA. New episodes released every Wednesday in your favorite podcast app.
While there were several big moments in this game, and I thought the Lightning, we often talk about the big play metric. The first big play went to the Panthers. They got the goal early. But after that, just about every significant play in this game went on the Lightning side of the ledger, starting with the Gensel goal that tied the game at 1 near the end of the first after Vasilevsky probably made 4 to 5 saves on tremendous scoring chances where the Panthers could have gone up by more than 1. The Nick Paul goal was also a big moment. That gave the Lightning their first lead in the series, and it turned out to be the game winner. And then the Jake Gensel goal in the opening 21 seconds of the third. So remember, the Lightning had a power play. They got called for a penalty at the end of the second period, Sorelli. So they started the third period skating 4-on-4 for 24 seconds, and then the Panthers were getting a power play looking maybe to tie the game. The Lightning scored during the 4-on-4. Kucherov had 2 dazzling assists tonight on the 2 Gensel goals, and that was another huge play to give the Lightning a 3-1 lead. The Panthers would never get closer as the Lightning tack on a late goal from Glendening, then an empty netter from Sorelli. But there were other key moments that weren't goals, in particular, the Lightning's penalty kill. So after allowing 3 power play goals on 3 chances in Game 1, the Lightning proceeded to go 3 for 3 in Game 2, and that was longer than 3 for 3 because they had one of those kills last over 4 minutes during the major penalty to Hagel. And then tonight, or today, they go 4 for 4. So they've gone 7 for their last 7 in Games 2 and 3. But tonight they really needed the penalty kill because a bunch of those came when either the game was tied or they were up by a goal. And then also when they were up by 2 goals, they had to kill a penalty as well. They finished the game at a 5-minute major as Matthew Tkachuk takes a major penalty for interference on Jake Gensel. We'll see if he gets the same treatment from the DOPS that Brandon Hagel got. Lightning can't control that. What they can control is the fact that they came into Sunrise without one of their top players. They were not happy about the Hagel suspension. And they responded after getting punched in the mouth early with, frankly, a little bit of a lucky goal for Tkachuk as Bennett mishandled it, and it came right to Tkachuk at the back post, and he had an open net. And it was not looking good for the Lightning at that point. They had some problems in the first period. They were giving up a fair number of chances, but they recovered. The goal from Gensel to make it 1-1 was a huge, huge goal. And the Lightning never trailed from that point onward. And for the first time in the series, as I mentioned, they forced the Panthers to play from behind. And not only directly related to that, but just generally in this game, the Lightning had more room to make plays, particularly after they tied the game at 1. I mentioned their odd mans. They had a shorthanded odd man in the second. Gensel and Paul Gensel shot the puck, missed the net. They had an odd man on the Paul goal where Paul shot it in. They had an odd man on the Glendening goal where Gord fed Glendening and he was able to finish. So they had some looks off the rush that were just not available for them earlier in the series. So no team is perfect. The Panthers played close to perfect defensive hockey with a dose of Bobrovsky in the first 2 games. They were not quite as good tonight. And some of that had to do with the fact that the Lightning had them down and they weren't up. So they couldn't just focus on defending, and protecting their lead. 3 stars, so there are a lot of candidates for the Lightning. I'm just saying right now, I did not make Kucherov a star. I could have. He had 2 Kucherov-like assists on the 2 Jake Gensel goals, which were 2 huge goals. But here are my 3 stars. Gensel is my first star. He was one of the guys that talked to the media after Game 2 and said, everyone thinks we're done. We don't believe we're done. We need to go down there and just win a game. And he did a lot to contribute to that win with 2 goals plus an assist. Vasi is my number 2 star. He made 33 saves. This game, the Panthers had more scoring chances than they had certainly in Game 2 and maybe in the 2 games combined. They had a fair number in Game 1 of their shots. They had a high volume of chances. They had a lot of shots today, and they had a lot of scoring chances today. Vasilevsky was brilliant, particularly when the Lightning were down 1-0 in the first. And I thought Nick Paul had a whale of a game tonight. Game-winning goal, strong all over the ice. I'm pretty sure he was good on face-offs as well. Let me check his final numbers. Yeah, he went 8-2 in the circle, and he was a big part of the penalty kill as well. When other guys needed a little bit of a respite, he contributed as they were without Hagel, and Cirelli was in the box for a couple of penalties. So my 3 stars, Gensel 1, Vasilevsky 2, Nick Paul 3. As we await J.J. Moser, will be joining Eric downstairs. Let's bring in Greg Linelli. And Greg, I guess we have to start with, the top guys for the Lightning came to play today and they produced. Gensel, Kucherov, Vasilevsky, but even role players, like I mentioned, Nick Paul, the penalty kill. They did a terrific job tonight for a much-needed win, a win they desperately needed, and they're back in the series now.
It's what you needed. Look, you and I discussed this. The star players for Tampa Bay needed to lead the way, whether that was in the form of Andrei Vasilevsky or Nikita Kucherov, Jake Gensel, Braden Point, Victor Hedman, Ryan McDonough. I mean, there's a laundry list of players who fit that mold. They certainly rose to the occasion today. And then you get the fact that some players who aren't star players were able to contribute in a big, big way. That was huge. And, let's face it. We had talked about it on the intermission report when it came to Bobrovsky giving up that goal to Nick Paul. It was one he probably needed to have. And let's be fair, because I know, some people were critical of Vasi and the Schmidt shot in Game 2. And whether you agree with that or not, I think the same logic would apply to that goal, which was a big deal. I know you mentioned the Gensel goal, but to get a lead was really significant because we hadn't seen it at all. So I thought, we kept hearing about Florida's pedigree and champions and their will, and that's all true. Lightning have that too, and it was nice to see that today.
We have talked a lot in the show about power play and penalty kill in the playoffs. So the Lightning did go 0 for 5 in the power play. And I'm not sure they had a lot of really terrific chances. I mean, the last one was the 5-minute major. They were just making sure that nothing funny happened. But the first 4, a goal there would have helped. But it was more important. Well, actually, let's hold that thought. Eric is ready downstairs with J.J. Moser. Take it away, Eric.
All right, thanks, Dave. J.J., congratulations on this victory. You guys had talked yesterday about the confidence you had coming down here, even without Brandon Hagel being available. Where's that kind of team confidence come from?
Well, I mean, we just showed it all year. I think we're a resilient group, and we trust in each other, and we trust in the abilities we have as a team. And, yeah, if one guy is not available, we got to get closer together, step up, and find a way.
You give up the goal early again, 3 straight games, but you didn't panic after that. What's it kind of take to maintain composure in this environment, down 2 games in the series, you give up the first goal, and you come back and score the next 5?
It's trusting the process. I mean, we have a lot of veterans in the team that kind of, give you that feeling of confidence. They have the confidence, they know how it goes, and it kind of, gets the whole group to have that confidence to not panic and to just trust that what we're doing is the right way to go, and eventually we'll turn our way.
And how about the penalty kill tonight? You didn't have Brandon Hagel available. Anthony Cirelli actually ends up taking a couple of penalties. And, after the Game 1 performance, you guys really wanted to kind of bring it back to who you're used to being. What did you see tonight from your PK?
I mean, we just dialed in those little details. I think we were really on point with what we had to do today. And, kind of found a way to not let him score.
And finally, Game 4 here in a couple of nights. How do you make sure that this one gets pushed past pretty quickly and get ready for Monday night?
Oh, it's the same thing. You just gotta focus on your task, gotta focus on your job, and trust the process. I think not much changes. It's gonna be the way for the whole series.
JJ, thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that's JJ Moser from the locker room. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, JJ. So Moser was part of the penalty kill as well. He played 2 minutes and 20 seconds. The high minute guys, as you would expect, Chernak 5:15 penalty kill time, McDonough 5:13 penalty kill time, Gergenson's 4:26 penalty kill time. I'm just looking down the list here, and Glendening 4:38 penalty kill time. Some of that, I think, was there was the one power play where they kind of got stuck out there, so they couldn't go for a change. But they were without Hagel, Greg, and Cirelli had to serve 2 of those penalties. So they didn't have 2 of their top penalty killers. So you had guys like Nick Paul and Jake Gensel play penalty kill maybe a little bit more than they normally would, or a lot more than they normally would. And my point was that even though the Lightning didn't score on the power play, they scored enough goals to win. The key was they didn't give up anything while shorthanded, and that I thought was a very, very significant part of their victory today.
It was a nice balance, wasn't it? You saw the Lightning able to generate offense, which is something they weren't really able to do through the first 2 games, but they kept the level of defense very comparable to what we saw in Game 2. So we wanted to see them build off of that. And the next step was don't sacrifice your defense for offense. And they didn't do that, to their credit. I also thought Vasilevsky, partner, was really good in this game. Let's not minimize what he was able to do, particularly a couple of grade A scoring chances from Bennett. In tight when he needed to make some saves for this team when the game was still very close, he did. And I can't say enough about the Lightning's bounce back game today. And now we've got a series. Puts a little bit more pressure on Florida, and I think the Lightning are trending in the right direction. They can build off of these next 2 games because they've improved in each one.
Well, we talked about it on the show. It makes a huge difference if you are tied or ahead as opposed to trailing. And that's true for both teams. But the Panthers did look a little different when they weren't able to play with the lead, which they had done for almost all of the first 2 games. Now, you can't predict how Game 4 is going to start, and it didn't start the way the Lightning wanted in Game 3. But we at least saw that the Panthers blinked a little bit defensively.
Yeah.
And some of that was game situation.
Yeah, you get knocked in the mouth. Let's see how you react. And again, they've got a pedigree. We understand that. But let's see in this series what it's like playing from behind. Every team, every player reacts differently. And for the first time in the series, the Lightning did that. The key will be, can they build off of that? At least the way they've played. Again, Game 2 and Game 3, I think there was a really good foundation there. And they continue to improve off of each game if you take a look at the small sample size from the previous 2. So, very intriguing Game 4 coming up, but the Lightning at least have put themselves in a position to even the series and head back home.
By the way, just a scoring addition, Kucherov was given an assist on the Cirelli empty netter. So Cirelli gets the goal from Gensel and Kucherov. So Gensel and Kucherov each finished with 3 points tonight. Gensel 2 goals and an assist. Kucherov 3 assists. Have a good post game. We have a Power Lunch show scheduled tomorrow. You and I will be back for Power Lunch on Monday, though, and look ahead to Game 4.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, partner.
All right, that'll do it for me. Thanks to everyone involved in today's broadcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Lightning win at 5-1, and they are back in the series. The series is now 2-1 Florida. Game 4 Monday. We know now there will be a Game 5 Wednesday at Amalie Arena, and they have announced the start time for that already. It'll be 7:30 on Wednesday back in Tampa. Thanks to everyone involved in tonight's broadcast. Peter Defeat Jr. at the Lightning Radio Network studios. Roy Perez alongside me here in Sunrise. For our broadcast assistant, Jared Johnston. For Greg Glinelli, Ben Pierce, Eric Erlinson, the Chief Bobby Taylor, I'm Dave Mishkin saying so long from Sunrise. Final score in Game 3 was the Lightning 5 and the Panthers 1. The Panthers lead the series now 2-1. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody.
Here's a steal! Point! Score! Steve